The best team in the competition are back on their home deck today, making a chance to go for 18 in a row, and they take on a Dockers team who have hit the skids in the last fortnight after making a really good start to 2022. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, we're at the MCG for the Narm Demons taking on the Fremantle Dockers. Jack Heverin joined in commentary, firstly by Daisy Thomas. Daisy, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Hev. Pretty excited by this one. Obviously, as you mentioned, the D's absolutely humming along, and I think today we find out really where Fremantle are at. Had a really good start to the season. The last couple of weeks in the wet haven't been their best, so today we find out if they are real contenders.
It's the Triple M footy preview for TaylorMade Golf, the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. AFLW superstar Kate McCarthy. Kate, what have you made of Fremantle's season so far? Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Hev. Good afternoon, Days. It's great to be here. I think the last couple of weeks have obviously, as you said, put the skids on a little bit, but two pretty tough games in horrible conditions, to be fair. And I don't think they adapted to those. You'd think after one wet game, you'd probably review it and then have a contingency plan in place for the next week. Doesn't look like they did that. They probably just relied on it not raining again. Turns out the next week it did rain and they didn't play it very well against the Pies either. But as Dave said, I'm really excited to see how they go against clearly the best team in the competition at the moment, and can they push them to maybe get out of second gear? Because I don't think we've really seen Melbourne out of second gear so far this year.
Tim Solly alongside me this afternoon, the most beautiful voice in football commentary. Timmy, good afternoon to you.
Thanks, Hev. Great to be here. Always good to be on a roster with you, mate. And I know Daisy loves these twilight games because he gets home by 8 o'clock. He puts his feet up on the couch, gets a glass of red out. So he's up and about here for a twilight footy. Oh, look, Hev, Freo, the last fortnight have been a bit disappointing, but and Melbourne, they've led at quarter time in 9 games this season. So it's really going to be this first quarter where we see a lot about Freo.
Let's get all the conditions and all the changes for today's game. For Bob Jane Team Art at Bob Jane Team Arts, buy a set of 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph X-Camper trailer. Good afternoon to you, Mickey Roberts.
Yeah, timing's everything. They've just turned the lights on and the Indigenous boys are out in the middle. Because of the Sir Douglas Nichols round, they're just exchanging gifts and whatever before the toss. But look, Melbourne have lost 2 big ones in N. Langdon and also Tom McDonald. McDonald with an ankle, Langdon with rib injury after that Taron Thomas tackle, which was sensational last week. So they're out. Jack Viney comes into the side. He had hamstring tightness last week. And Sam Wiedemann gets his chance again to actually prove a point on the G. Jake the Snake Melsham playing his 200th game. Squitter, Sam Switkowski's the one from Fremantle, out for 2 weeks with that chicken wing tackle on Ginnivan last week against the Pies. He will be missed because defensive forward, he keeps the ball in. He's been going really well for Fremantle. The subs are Luke Dunstan and Bailey Banfield for Fremantle. Narm, they'll inflict another loss. Back-to-back losses for Fremantle, and I reckon they'll triple up here at the G.
Kate, what are you thinking?
I think similar. I think you'd be a bit of a fool at the moment to tip against Melbourne in the form that they're in. So, yeah, but I really do hope we see them tested this afternoon and also get to see Freo's best on the big stage and against the team to beat this year.
All of the numbers that matter this afternoon with thanks to Red Z Lending, the man known as Ewing, Ethan Meldrum. Hello, Ethan.
Stop it, Hem. I've got everyone already piling into me. No one knows my name at the moment. So
Patrick.
Patrick Ewing, of course. Thank you, Brian, for starting that one. Fremantle, watch on their offense, of course, as you said, have 10 goals in 2 weeks. Only West Coast and North Melbourne scored less goals from marks so far this season, so watch on them where they score their goals from. Melbourne going for their 18th consecutive win. That'll take them to equal 7th all-time with Carlton 95-96 and Jake Bowie. It's been at all 18 of those. He will level the VFL-AFL all-time record of 18 wins to start a career if he gets the full points today.
You with the D's, Days?
I am with the D's. I'm really excited to see how Fremantle are going to try and move the ball. We know Melbourne's defence is fantastic, so I hope that Fremantle play with a real bit of boldness in their ball movement and can try and expose the Melbourne defence.
Here's Tim Solly on Triple M footy.
Thanks, Hev. Twilight footy. Sir Doug Nicholas round continues for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Tap, Oliver. Little back turn was good. Handball cut off. Sarong. Darcy. Himmel's over to Brayshaw. Back to Brody. Lowers the eyes inside 50. Oh, the drop mark by Lobb. Should have held on his back. Got it up to Schultz. He handballs back to half forward. Brayshaw. Hardly a handball, and it's cut off by Pickett.
His kick smothered. And that's going to roll and roll and roll out of bounds in front of the interchange bench. 30 seconds gone, opening quarter.
Positive start from the Dockers there, and like what they've gone with the 3 tools down in the forward line, but dragged all of Melbourne defenders to the goal square when that ball came out of the centre square. 3 of them leading up on different angles, not allowing the D's defenders to drop off.
Sean Darcy in the ruck against Max Gawn. That'll be a good duel this afternoon. Brayshaw. That's Andrew Brayshaw taken to the boundary line, and we'll do it all again. Number 5 in the competition for disposals, Andrew Brayshaw. Number 2 for tackles, and you'd think he'd be a long way in front in Fremantle's best and fairest so far.
Ball in. Gawn versus Darcy. 2 premier ruckmen. It comes to the front. Oliver spent it before he had it. Akers dives in on top. Almost throws it out there, Oliver. Viney in and under as always. Brayshaw did well. Got it to Walters. Stripped in the tackle. Ball came loose and he was ripped to the turf. And he'll take it just attacking side of this broadcast wing.
Still no score as yet. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The footy just hovering around the members' wing here at the MCG. Barely a breath of wind, as Robbo said. Akers loads up, kicks into the pocket to a pack. Fisted to the boundary line by May and knocks that one over 60 metres out from the Dockers' goal as they attack the punt road end in this opening quarter.
And just another player, Hev, you said that Brayshaw would be a long way in front, the best and fairest. Will Brodie, I think, has been really good for them as well. He's been a very consistent performer, possibly the recruit of the year so far for Freo.
Ball in, falls to the back. Neil Bullen can't shake the Clark tag. Got the ball loose. Did well, Viney. A little bit of body pressure. Gave it to Oliver under pressure. Back to Viney. Bumped as the kick. Up to the centre wing. Young couldn't quite hold on. Pickett lurking front and centre. Little tunnel ball out the back door for Petrarca. Was too clever in the end. Brodie now on the turnover. A right foot ball inside 50. Petty box seat. Slaps boundary side. And he's happy to see it over. Left forward pocket. Left to your radio dial. 2.5 gone in this first term. Both sides yet to score. Triple M, Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Bit of a holding pattern to start with this game. Fremantle have had a fair bit of the footy. We'll get their numbers shortly from Heath. Darcy tapped it down to Walters, who went without it. At 35 out from goal. A whistle is going to go Melbourne's way. James Jordan to take it. 510 metres gained in their win over North Melbourne last week. He's looking very comfortable at the level now as they chip around. The undefeated Jake Bowie goes wider to May and he comes out of half-back.
He's got a man really wide in Bedford, but it was out of bounds before he took the mark. So they'll reload again from right half forward here. Hands are Young.
And this is something they've had trouble doing for the last couple of weeks, and that's creating that forward pressure.
Long and strong from Young into the pocket. Logue flies. Oh, good front centre there. Snapped on the left, around the corner from Tucker. Couldn't quite. Across the face, minor score. First one of the afternoon. Goes to the Dockers. They're one behind. Nam yet to score. That's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Sporting tradies with over 120 stores. Expert teams, huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
We know the form that Stephen May's been in. Looks like Griffin Logue's got a defensive forward job on him this afternoon.
The kick out results in another stoppage at left half back for the D's. Some early numbers, Heath, Red Z lenders.
Yeah, Andy Brayshaw leading the way. 3 disposals, 4 inside 50s to none Fremantle's way so far.
As Clark tried to bust through, as Bowie read it better than everyone. His kick missed the target though. Gathered by Young on the wing for Fremantle. Now Tucker with a short kick to the tip of 50. Brayshaw chops it off and now Melbourne can start to reload. Oliver gave it back to Brayshaw. He was closed down by Walters. Umpire lurks and now calls for it. 4.5 minutes gone. Dockers one behind. Demons yet to score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Big man go to work. Darcy this time. Neil Bullen collects off the heels, gets it up to Petrarca, around his body, up to the wing. Ben Brown couldn't stick it. Good pressure from Pearce. Now on the up to Bedford. He just puts the afterburners on, takes a bounce in Indigenous round, fires at the open goal and hits the post. Would have been the start for young Bedford in Sir Doug Nicholls' round. Instead, it's just the one behind. They're all tied up here, one behind apiece. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 5 minutes gone first term.
And that there just evidence of how quickly Melbourne can burn you back the other way. They've had hardly any of the footy, no field position. That was their first inside 50 for the game, and just that slingshot transition from one end to the other. So dangerous.
Kick in, gets out the back. Collier pounces on the footy and chips with a short kick to lob. Members wing here at the MCG. Kate McCarthy, Daisy Thomas, all of our Triple M Seabus Super special comments this afternoon. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. May again comes over the top and smashes that out of bounds for a throw-in.
Well, we'll get a really good look at here of what Fremantle are trying to do. So the stoppage about the half-forward mark, but the three big tools down there, Loeb, Taberner and Lobb, are taking their direct opponents, May, Lever and Petty, and really trying to disconnect them from the stoppage. So there's a big chunk of space for this ball to be kicked into.
Good tap down Darcy. Brody got it to Sarong, who wheels onto the right boot. Long and deep inside 50. The nest forms. Tabner to the front. Walters clean. Got it out to Schultz. A slide winding, burning ball out. And he's hit the behind post. We'll go to the boundary. Bob Jane, T-Marts, Mickey Roberts.
Yeah, the members are right near me are pretty full, actually, up to the third tier. And I just heard a couple of them yell out, "Come on, Premiers." They're not getting ahead of themselves, are they?
I think that ship's well and truly sailed. They're pretty comfortable with themselves now, Demon supporters. Hayden Young takes a good mark from the kick in, although makes an error. Turns it over and gives the footy back to Melbourne. Petrarca flicks a handball out wide to the wing. Now Jordan can run and carry. He's got options riding shotgun. One of them, Oliver, arches the back and runs his full measure, then loads up inside 50. Jackson couldn't get a fly at it. Sarong at ground level, tackled by Brown. That footy's going nowhere.
Yeah, just your point, Days, as the key forwards for Freo are really separating at the start of the stoppage, but then by the time the ball came in, all three of them were in the one space, making it super easy for Melbourne defenders to peel off the player that's not dangerous and get a fist over the top.
Kate McCarthy, Daisy Thomas in the back row for Seabus Super, making hard work pay off as Frederick just pops a little one for Walters, who squirts another little ball down the line. Tabner in front of the interchange gate, broadcast wing. 7 gone first term. They're all tied up, one behind a piece as Tabner finds another short option in Andrew Brayshaw. Career best season for this man. Had at least 25 touches in 8 of his last matches on the road. He goes inside 50. Ball off hands, Petty there. And then Lobb fortuitously snaps around the left shoulder and across the face for another minor score. They're 2 behinds the Dockers. Nam just the one behind. 8 minutes gone in this first term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Sporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Well, I know there are only 3 small chances, but if you are to be any chance against such a good footy club, these are the ones you have to make and put some scoreboard pressure on.
It's coming back in. Brayshaw bangs it deep. Taberner had it bounce off his chest. There's another missed opportunity. May's kick, though, didn't clear the area, and Akers marks on 50, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, and this is the quarter that could have been so far for the Fremantle Dockers. There's been a couple of chest marks dropped, another one just there, but geez, this would be a big start for them if Blake Akers could slot this one and give them some real momentum going into the next centre clearance.
4 goals for the season. Game number 35 as a Docker. It'll take his best. He runs around to open up the angle. He's hit it pretty well. It's touched right on the line. And another minor score for the Dockers. Down to Robbo for Bob Jane T-Mutts.
Just nice little warm applause by the Melbourne members. Jake the Snake Melsham running on off the bench. 200 games, that's not a bad effort.
Bob Jane T-Mutts buy a set of 4 monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph X-Camper trailer as they make their way to the outer wing, Melbourne. The handball was errant there from Brown, but Rivers did well. Got it up towards Jackson, his East Fremantle teammate, and now Oliver around the body, but he's dumped it onto the chest of Clark, centre-half back. 9.5 gone first term. Dockers leading by 2 as he switches it across to the broadcast side. Ryan, long deep down the line. That's a good ball for Walters. Had to sit and wait. And he was met front on by Hunt. The free kick will go to Walters.
It's not a bad free kick. That's not 15 from Walters. Young got onto his left foot. They're searching for a mark inside 50, Fremantle. They've had their opportunities. It's not coming this time. Sparrow's got some work to do. Clever tap on, and Neil Bullen runs it out of defensive 50. Fritz through the middle. He took on a tackler. Clark got him in the ball jarred free. Mundy for Fremantle. Now has options. One of them out wide. At half forward is Tucker. 70 around from goal. Looks for the little kick to Collier. And he goes into the pocket and finds Rory Lobb. Good build-up from Fremantle.
Yeah, much better build-up. Used the open side of the field just because, I guess, Melbourne had turned the ball over in such a dangerous position. But some really good defence from Fremantle to get that ball turned over by Fritsch in the middle of the ground. And then because they took on the game so much quicker than they have been going inside 50, they were able to isolate some one-on-ones.
He's their number one marking target inside 50 this year for the Dockers, Rory Lobb. This is a tough one. Right forward pocket has made it look easy. Dockers get the first of the afternoon. They're 1-3-9. Melbourne one behind, 10.5, nearly 11 minutes gone on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, it's a beautiful finish and from a tough angle, and I think the Melbourne defenders won't be too worried about that. If you're going to give up anything and they're kicking goals from the pocket there, and every now and then you just have to tip your hat and say too good. But it was the turnover in the middle of the ground that was so pleasing. Luke Ryan was the one. He made the decision not to retreat but to come forward, and that was critical. The space was all out the back. Cozzy Pickett was one-on-one, but he trusted his defender to go with him. He pressed forward. He was the man that got involved and got that turnover for Fremantle. Really liking what I'm seeing in their organisation defensively.
Red Z Learning stats. Fremantle already 8 forward half intercepts to none. Melbourne number one in the competition for going from defensive 50 to inside 50. 30% of the time they can do it. 9 attempts so far, yet to go end to end so far.
Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed as we're back in the middle. Ordinary bounce by the umpire. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. With Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy in the back row. All-Australian lineup for Seabus Super. Ball back in the air. Climbing over the top was Gawn, crashing his way through Viney. Good to see him back on the park this week. Inside 50 now, going back with the flight. Good strong mark taken by Fritsch. 30 out directly in front.
Yeah, it's just the beauty of winning a beautiful centre clearance there. Max Gawn just palmed it straight down to Viney, who was expecting it, and then got wheeled around and just put it to Bailey Fritsch's advantage, and he did the rest of the work with his defender. But just shows how important getting a quick centre clearance is and taking that mark inside 50.
Demons have scored a goal 40% of the time. They've targeted Bailey Fritsch inside 50 this year. Phenomenal stats as he's on the runway. He'll hit this from 43. Low, flat, straight as an arrow. Demons get there first. They're 1-1-7. The Dockers 1-3-9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 12.5 first term.
Well, we just gave Luke Ryan a big pump up there, and we'll see on the Harvey Norman replay just some poor positioning from the centre bounce. He gave Bailey Fritsch his back, so usually as a defender you're trying to push you forward up so you've only got one place to lead, and if they get you on the lead, too good. If he has to kick it from 55, again you say fair enough, but on that occasion he took the front position, the proactive position as that ball came in and cleared the pack. Bailey Fritsch first to react, so just a little one there, but defensively, as we've spoken about, Fremantle been super so far. Also some fairly loose checking in the centre bounce from Caleb Sarong. Just let Jack Viney give him a very slight push and then get on the end of the tap so easily, so need to be a little bit more accountable in that centre clearance there.
Back to 2 points the difference. The Dockers in front for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy at the MCG. Gawn's tap missed Oliver, who was cruising on by Sarong at ground level. Handball's off to Brody. Kicks long and deep. Lever back into the pack with courage. Couldn't hang on to the mark. He's a bit sore. Stephen May's a bit sore.
Big collision. Unbelievable courage that was from Lever, coming back, not knowing what was coming the other way. I think that's why Melbourne is such a good footy club at the minute. They go regardless. Doesn't matter who it is or what's coming. Harvey Norman replay. Oh, wow. That is a left shoulder from Lever to the bonce of Stephen May.
Thanks to Harvey Norman. Get your next phone your way. The best brands at the best prices. Come in store today and speak to our mobiles experts.
Oliver, right on defensive 50, just hacks it forward. Walker couldn't pick it up off the laces. Now at ground level. Bedford diving on top of Brody, locking it in. They fight for it, and the umpire says, give it to me, inside the centre square.
Clayton Oliver kicking on from last week, career high 45 disposals, already up to 9 touches in the first 14 minutes of this one.
He was excited. Pep in his step back there, Ethan Meltram on the red sets.
Nice one, Ewing.
As Mundy out to Aish, around his left shoulder up to the 50. Schultz heard the call, got it off to Sarong, riding shotgun. The arm pinned in the Spargo tackle. Illegal disposal. And Spargo will have it right on defensive 50.
Just saw the physio and doctor make their way out to Stephen May in the goal square there. We'll just get Mickey Roberts to keep an eye on those two as they come back, whether or not they're checking the vision, because it didn't look good on the Harvey Norman replay. It was a big hit right to the bonce, as I said. So maybe some concussion protocols about to be put in place.
And Daisy, you'd also like, I think, in my opinion, when that happens, almost like a blood rule. If someone's had a hit to the head that severe and they're concerned about it, he's obviously defending his 50, so it's really important that he doesn't make a substitution there because they're one down. But if we really want to look after the players and their head knocks, let that be a free sub, stop the game, let him go off, get someone on for him.
It's a good point. It's something they'll have to keep looking at. Here is May. Logue ran him down. May just got his kick away in the nick of time. Melbourne aren't out yet. Jordan had to hack it around the corner on his left foot from half back. And Clark sees that one over for a throw-in underneath the Shane Warne stand. Let's get down to Robbo for Bob Jane team ups.
Both doctors and physio have checked out the Stephen May video. They're still contemplating on whether to take him off the ground or not. I know that he's actually been in another contest since. He was able to get that shoulder up and mobile and rotating, but still looking at the vision down here.
Ball on the outer side. Akers claimed by Jackson, and then Sarong just pushed across the line. We'll have a ball in on the outer side. 16 and a half first term. It's the Dockers 1-3-9 leading Melbourne. Nam 1-1-7. As the players are set on the outer side, it'll be Lobb versus Jackson. Jackson to the front, neither got a touch. Lobb picks it up on the bounce. Gave it to the laces of Frederick. Hard work. Bowie did well. Got it up to Oliver. Around his shoulder to the wing. And a good mark by Clark. Right on the Toyota logo on the outer side.
Are they set up well behind the footy, Daisy? How are Fremantle stopping Melbourne from pushing forward so often?
Yeah, so they've been super organised in getting their +1 in a dangerous spot, but it's been the pressure on the ball, so Melbourne forced to kick it forward rather than chain it out. Therefore, that Fremantle +1 has had some real impact. We've seen the 2 or 3 times they haven't been forced to hack it out, how easily Melbourne can transition it.
Kick deep. Jackson flew from the back for Melbourne. He couldn't mark. Oliver tapped it towards the boundary line. Right forward pocket. Schultz steps back inside. May and Lever get him together. And that'll be holding the ball. 17 and a half minutes gone on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Dockers have done a good job of slowing the Demons down. They lead by 2 points.
Lever outside 50. Ball off hands. Jackson, like a rover, off his laces, shovels it up for Viney. Back to Jackson. He's got Neil Bullen riding shotgun. Breaks the 50. A right foot ball towards goal is skinny. And another behind. 1-2-8 the D's. Dockers 1-3-9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Concern for me is the ball just getting out the back of Fremantle at the moment. A couple of times we've seen now sort of that 50 to 60 metre mark out. There's been a pack form and then the ball's just carried over and Melbourne have just been running shoulders out in numbers to goal.
Dockers play the members' side here at the MCG. Petty went without it. Pearce slung in a tackle. Fantastic work by Sam Wiedemann, who's the late in today for Tom McDonald. He's a big tackle and we get another ball up. Robbo for Bob Jane team ups.
Yeah, drama down here. Dramatic scenes. May didn't want to come off the ground. They've forced him off. So having studied that video, he's going into the rooms now with the doctor. They've taken the medical kit as well. So they're going to have a look at the concussion after viewing this video for a lengthy time.
We'll keep an eye on that one. It's a big loss for Melbourne if so. Gawn closes down Walters. The captain leading by example. He'll take a free kick 60 out from goal.
Looks up. There's about 30 players inside 50. He just lopes. Wiedemann, a little three-quarter kick in his direction. Climbing over the top. Lob. Got a decent ride. And he takes a good mark on the last line of defence, Rory Lobb. Love to see this one again on the Harvey Norman as he goes wide with a kick and diving slips catch. Inches inside the boundary. Young. He squirts it down. We've got it here on the Harvey Norman nowadays. Talk us through the mark.
Just an old-fashioned hang dangle. Got the really nice sit, got the knee up on the shoulder, got the nice elevation, took a good plunk.
Thanks to Harvey Norman. Get your next phone your way. Best brands at the best prices. Come in store today and speak to our mobile experts.
Demons get the footy back. Viney from the outer side wing. Looks for Petrarca flying from a couple back in the queue. No marks. It's knocked out of bounds by Brennan Cox. Thrown in 45 around for the Demons goal.
So this is where Fremantle have to be super vigilant here. They've had all the play up the other end, 75% of it in forward half. Now's a danger time. Melbourne got some field position and momentum. Can't give up an easy one.
Dockers 1-3-9. Demons 1-2-8. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Oliver at the base of the stoppage. Wrapped up by Jordan Clark. He's going nowhere.
Thanks, Clayton. Rory.
Jack Heverin calling the action this afternoon. Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy back row. Ethan Meldrum on the Reds' Ed Landings. And Mickey Roberts down on the boundary for Bob Jane Seamarts as they build from half back here, the Dockers. Tucker, claimed by Neil Bullen on the turnover. Bedford, handballs for Rivers. He's got another man wide in Jordan. Loads up from 45. Splits the middle. Demons get their second. They're 2-2-14. The Dockers 1-3-9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've just ticked into time on in this first term.
And it was the worst possible outcome if you are a Freo Dockers supporter. As you said, Days, they'd really had control of this first quarter, been able to keep Melbourne to very minimal inside 50s. That time they got a stoppage, so Melbourne just starting to really put a little bit of pressure on the Fremantle defenders, and you could see when that ball was sort of bobbling around in the middle, Melbourne just had all the numbers around the footy. Slingshotted back the other way and had some overlap run on the outside, and it was a lovely finish from James Jordan.
Really nice finish. It was a poor lateral press there from young Walker. He was the man who came in off his opponent, that being James Jordan. The player who handballed it to him was under immediate pressure, so didn't need to do that, made it an easy shot on goal.
Second goal of the season. Melbourne get their second of the game for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy and they win the clearance. Oliver dashes through the middle of the MCG, kicks to the top of the goal square. Wiedemann couldn't get a run at it. Young for the Dockers, had to be quick. Ryan gave it up. Pickett spins through the traffic, got it onto his left boot. He was bumped as he kicked, and Bedford taken to the boundary line by Cox. Now they're starting to click into gear, the Demons. They're 2-2-14. The Dockers 1-3-9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath, earlier today.
Brisbane by 14 points over GWS, and Geelong jumping Fremantle ladder in the top four, 42 points over Adelaide.
Ball in deep in attack for the D's. Young roved it well, got it to Walker. Handball goal side for Young. Handball's Tucker. Handball back, handball for Brayshaw. They're sharing it around here. Walker treads the boundary on the outer side and he spears one. Finds lob, true centre wing. He wants to put it to half forward. Big one-on-one here, and Tabner just too big and strong for Spargo. Takes it 47 from home on a 45-degree angle.
Loving what I'm seeing from Rory Lobb in the early parts of this game. His ability when he is in the ruck to really stretch both Max Gawn and Luke Jackson. On that occasion, he spread out wide on Maxi Gawn, but then understanding really good match awareness that they had the inside forward 50 with a mismatch. He rolled straight away. It wasn't a perfect kick, but just too big, too strong was Taberner. Took a nice mark.
Unbelievable conversion from this man this year. He's kicked 12 goals too. Remembering he kicked 7 back in round 5 against the Bombers. He strikes it right on the 50-metre arc. It's going to go right to the line and touched by Hunt. Through for another minor score. They're 1-4-10, the Dockers. Demons 2-2-14. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And also that benefit, Days, of stretching Max Gawn and getting him out of the corridor and out of that position where he can just sit deep and take intercept marks. Also, the more that Freo use Rory Lobb in the first part of this quarter, the more accountable Max Gawn is going to have to be throughout the game.
Holding free kick here going to Jackson. As always, umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy. We know exactly what's going on. Well, we try to anyway. Not sure we always do.
Double back, Hev. You can't double back.
Not sure we always do.
It's just common sense, Hev.
Don't you start. Heath, Reds Ed Lenders.
Yeah, Rory Lobb, in fact, number one ranked player on the ground. 8 disposals, most of any Docker. 5 marks as well. 24
minutes gone. Melbourne by 4 points. Throw in, out of side. Nice clearance work from Fremantle. Brodie missed his target by foot, though. And Logue sees it over in front of Jaden Hunt.
We've got another look at that Stephen May incident there on the Harvey Norman replay. It'd be interesting to see if they do pass him fit for the concussion, because it looked nasty. It was the elbow, then he got the double whack as well on the ground. So those ones traditionally are the ones that do cause concussion.
Darcy to the front. Brodie gives it to Frederick. Hard up on the boundary. Does the unselfish thing through the hands of Bowie. Schultz scrambles towards goal, but out to the right-hand side. One behind. They're 1-5, the Dockers, 11. Melbourne 2-2-14. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, 24.5 first term.
Gee, they've had some chances, Dace.
They deserve some reward for effort here, the Dockers. I know there's nothing given in this game and nothing for free, but boy, gee, they've been bloody impressive getting the turnovers and trying to give themselves some looks, so they just haven't been able to make the most of them.
Against the Demons team, who are plus 133 in first quarters this year. They're 9-1. They're hanging around in this opening quarter. Brayshaw got in the way of that kick intended for Viney. Then Brodie drags Viney to the ground and Fremantle win it back. Frederick darting around, wasn't sure what to do. His handball missed the intended target. Umpire lurking. He's called that incorrect disposal. Advantage going to the Demons outer side wing. He's gone.
Big Max goes up to the 50, leading the foot race. Wiedemann. The ball's going to bounce end on end and beat him out of bounds. About 45 metres around. Consford stand pocket, right to your radio dial.
Big mistake there from Frederick. He had 2 or 3 teammates that he absolutely torched that were running shoulders out to goal. He was facing the wrong way, took the opportunity to turn around and then just gave a hospital handball over the top. You've got to take those opportunities against Melbourne. Ball
in, Jackson goes to the back. Ryan did well. Handball's up to Darcy from a standing start on the big left slipper down the line. Logue spalls to the front. Frederick did well. Clean hands. And now he squirts the ball to half-forward Tabner. He wanted to play on and then he doubles back. Had nothing ahead of him. Now he swings onto the left. Frederick's leaped forward. And he's going to get a free kick against Lever. 55 from home here, Frederick.
Time back on.
2.5 left in this first term. They trail by 3 here, the Dockers. He spins the ball in his hands, Michael Frederick. And now he looks into the pocket. The crowd forms. Tabner floating in from the side. Logue. Griffin Logue in game 52. Usually see him up the other end of the ground. That might be an Amy Clanger.
The big log, the big tall timber was up there. And it was the tallest of them all. Big Griffin Log came in. I tell you what he did do, though, it was really well played because Max Gorn was the man he was meant to be checking. He looked like he had his name written all over that. He didn't engage him. He just floated in front of him, snuck up behind him, took a really nice mark. Must-kick goal for the Dockers.
The big tree log from 30 leans back and he's gone across the face. Minor score. I called it and I just looked back and everyone was laughing. So they move now. The Dockers 1-6-12. The Demons 2-2-14. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
I think it was smart what you did, Tim. Straight on the front foot. Said, this is the Amy Clanger. Here it is.
It is a bad miss, though. You take that with the Akers miss and Tabernar. They've both been touched on the line. That's 3 goals. Obviously, the scoreboard not looking great. They're still hanging in there, but they're the chances. We keep speaking about it. Melbourne at some point will have a big passage of play, really get some momentum, so you have to make the most of your opportunities, and the Dockers aren't, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Melbourne have moved the footy from full back to half forward without it touching the ground. Fritz drives deep. Wiedemann playing from the back that time, couldn't mark. Pearce handballs out into space. They're not out of danger yet, Fremantle. Clark conceding ground, back to Darcy. He kicks from the back pocket. Lobb will have to arrive. Good contest. And he should have been paid the mark. Wasn't. Had to handball off to Mundy. Now Brayshaw from half back. Quickly by hand and they get it through to Walker. They haven't found a path through the middle of the MCG yet, the Dockers. Brayshaw, he went without it. Kick forward only as far as Brayshaw from Melbourne. That's Angus Brayshaw. Pack forms in the middle. Mundy went crashing in. Hunt standing on the edge of the circle. Drives a high long ball inside 50. Gorn couldn't mark. Now Darcy picks it up, and now they should get clear through Akers.
Arches his back and then looks into the corridor. Daring ball. It's going to pay off. Sarong thought about giving it back to Akers. Instead, he'll squirt it wide out to this broadcast wing. He's got Schultz, who lowers the eyes. Walters, good pressure came from Lever, who collects on the bounce. Spins on a dime, puts it high up and under. He put Petrarca under pressure, and Ryan climbing over the top, takes a good mark. He'll wheel and go. Liam Ryan, and then he goes down the line to half forward. There's the quarter time siren here at the Triple MCG. Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy in the house. Ethan Meldrum on the stats. Hev calling the action this afternoon with Timmy Solly, and down on the boundary for Bob Jane T-March, Mickey Roberts. And at quarter time here at the MCG, it's Melbourne leading 2-2-14 to the Dockers 1-6-12. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Score yourself an absolute Macca's legend, the McChicken. Order via McDelivery today. McDelivery is available in select locations.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
Scott Pendlebury with us.
Jack Ginnivan, he was on fire, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was unreal.
Because he had a bit of a GoPro wobble early days.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a wobble either. Yeah, I think it was the fossils getting upset with his generation.
I was one of those.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I'm sitting here saying.
What about the shushing the crowd? Where do you stand on that, or have I fossilised over that?
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
2 succulent beef patties, crunchy lettuce, tangy pickles and onion. All oozing with special sauce. The Big Mac. It's the burger equivalent of a mic drop. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's time to plan your next getaway with up to 25% off stays of 2 nights or more during Choice Hotels' end of financial year flash sale. Explore your own backyard, indulge in a regional experience, connect with family and friends with up to 25% off 2 nights or more at over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Get the lowest price guaranteed this end of financial year when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Select travel dates in June only. Book by June 2nd. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for full details.
At Harvey Norman, bonus $624 6-month Foxtel Now all-pack subscription with an eligible TV purchase from Harvey Norman priced between $2,500 and $3,999. Or bonus $1,248 12-month Foxtel Now all-pack subscription with an eligible TV priced at $4,000 or above. Watch your favourite TV shows, sports and movies on Foxtel Now. New and returning Foxtel Now customers only. Conditions apply. See Foxtel Now website for details. Offer extended until 31st May. Now at Harvey Norman.
A quick chat about bringing up respect with Gus Warland.
On your school run today, instead of the same old questions, why not try bringing up respect? Why not use this time with your kids to kickstart a richer, deeper conversation? For example, ask this. If one of your friends was being disrespectful to you, how would you feel? What would you do? Every little talk you have shapes them. Bringing up respect grows respect. So talk early and often. For more conversation starters, tools and resources, visit respect.gov.au. Violence against women, let's stop it at the start.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra, and the Triple M Network.
This tax time, Officeworks has your e-offie thing. Like the Logitech MK235 wireless keyboard and mouse combo, only $49. Or the Acer i7 notebook, a low $997. Plus, if you find a lower priced identical stocked item, we'll beat it by 5%. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Hurry in this tax time, because e-offie thing you buy at Officeworks before June 30 could be tax deductible.
Do the neighbours keep you up at night, playing music or when they fight? Do you wish you could just block that noise out? Yeah. Are you freezing in the winter, boiling in the summer? Well, you know there's got to be a better way. EcoStar, EcoStar. Get the best double glazing from the start. Get the best double glazing from the start.
Shut up! The footy's on
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Quarter time in the MCG. The Demons leading 2-2-14 to the Dockers. 1-6-12. Rory Lobb, the goal kicker for Fremantle. For Nam, James Jordan and Bailey Fritsch, their goal kickers. Tim Solly, Jack Heverin, Kate McCarthy, Dale Thomas, Ethan Meldrum and Mickey Roberts. Boundary side for Bob Jane Team Arts. Robbo?
Yeah, don't forget they've already lost Ed Langdon with ribs from last week, but Stephen May's the other one, should be in All-Australian contention in the squad easily. He's off the ground and they've looked at concussion, and as Daisy said, after watching the replay several times, he cops a whack from Lever, but he smacks his head on the green stuff as well, so he didn't want to come off the ground, but he was dazed. They looked at the video a couple of times. He's been in the rooms ever since, and they actually, Luke Dunstan is the med sub for Melbourne. His warm-up was all about tackling, throwing to the ground, all that sort of physical stuff. So they're preparing Dunstan to come on. They haven't pulled the switch or punched the button yet, but I expect Stephen May in a bit of strife the longer he stays in the rooms.
Nicely done, Robbo. Round the grounds earlier today, Heath, for Choice Hotels.
Earlier today, Geelong v Adelaide. Geelong by 42 points there. They're now fourth on the ladder, overtaking Fremantle, and Brisbane by 14 points over a pretty decent-looking GWS. 110-96, that one, high-scoring game. Brisbane now 9-2.
And still to come tonight, West Coast and the Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium. We'll take you there as soon as we finish up. Kate McCarthy, Dale Thomas, Triple M Seabus Super special comments.
Yeah, well, Freo started the game really well. They've set up really nicely in defence and haven't been able to they haven't allowed Melbourne to really get their offence set yet, and a lot of forward pressure and turnovers. We see at quarter time the intercept marks are 7-1 in Fremantle's favour, which is usually a number or a stat that Melbourne lead. Obviously, one of those key contributors is usually Stephen May, who's been off the ground for quite some time now. But really good start from Freo, but you can just feel they've had to work so much harder for their goals or scores, whereas Melbourne have just slingshot back the other way, Days.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've been fantastic, the D's. They're hanging in there, and that's what you have to do. Fremantle have come out dead set, all guns blazing, but Melbourne have been up for the fight and up for the challenge and made the most of their opportunities, albeit them being limited.
Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy in the back row. Seabus Super making hard work pay off as we're back in the middle here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. It'll be the Dockers with the first centre clearance. No, it won't, because Viney just mauled Brodie, pinned the arm, and they'll get on the bike here, the D's, as Brayshaw loads up. Left foot ball in Brown's direction. Gorn flies from the side. Petrarca at the spill. Had it stripped. Numbers here with the Dockers. Brayshaw scrambles a ball outside 50. He's looking for Collier, but the ball beats him out of bounds. Left half forward here for the Demons. Bob Jane team march, Robbo.
Big news. Stephen May out of the contest. Concussion failed it. Still in the rooms. Dunstan now with the GPS. He's playing kit on. So that is big news. Stephen May out of this game. Concussion.
Get back to you in a second, Daisy, what that does for Melbourne. They're so organised and so structured behind the footy. This one's taken over the line.
So it looks like Jaden Hunt's gone behind the ball, now playing on Griffin Logue, and also it is down there is Trent Rivers as well. So they have had to shuffle the magnets a little bit, obviously losing a tall as well with Dunstan, not a like-for-like replacement coming on.
Throw in, 60 out from goal. Beautiful tap down from Darcy to Ace, but his kick only as far as Angus Brayshaw. Handball's off to Melksham in game number 200. Left foot ball into the pocket. Brown and Pearce contest. There's hair flying everywhere. Pickett can't keep it in. It's thrown in. 25 around from goal. Punt road end.
Just love to hear Melksham's stats. I'm not sure he got a touch in that first quarter, Heath.
No, statless in that first term, Jake Melksham. His 200th game as well.
It's a deep in attack here for the D's. There's the ball in. Gorn versus Darcy. Tap to the front. Pickett lurking, stalking. Young did well. Got the handball back for Cox. And now Brayshaw gets it to Walker. Handballs to Brodie. He's been busy. Cut off by Melksham. Did well. And now just inside the field of play, Oliver shovels it back in. Brayshaw, though, missed Mundy with the handball. Crashing through Big Das. The big road train. Just almost had it stripped. Did well, the big man. Got it out to Aish. Now Brodie again. The smother came from Neil Bullen. Ricochets back to Oliver. Lowers the eyes inside 50, but coughs it up. A good mark taken, diving to the turf, Akers.
And we saw it the last couple of weeks just how much they want to handball Fremantle. It's something that didn't work in the wet, and I don't think it's going to work against Melbourne. Their pressure's just too good. We saw then handballing to teammates who were then just under the pump from another Melbourne defender. So I think they've just got to get it on the boot in pressure situations like that.
Demons lead it by 2 points. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. This quarter's been going 2.5 minutes. Members wing, Taberner had his kick smothered by Jackson. The two big boys wrestle. Umpire calls for it. Some of the major ball winners, Heath. Triple M Red Z lenders.
Clayton Oliver leading the way, 14 disposals. Will Brodie, 12 for the Dockers. But a watch on Chris Petrarca, only the 2 touches so far for Melbourne.
Mundy feigns the handball, and then he wheels it around 360 and darts a beautiful ball into the hands of Tabner. 60 metres from home. Looks into the spine now. Honouring lead by Logue. Couldn't find him. Now on hands and knees. Getting it up Schultz. Missed Logue. And now on the turnover, Hunt. Handball's out for Petrarca. He's got him streaming through the corridor. It's young Bedford. Clean pickup. Fires at goal from 49. Vacant goal square. Dribbles it home. Young Toby Bedford gets his first in Sir Doug Nicholls' round. The young Indigenous superstar. And the D's go to 3-2-20. The Dockers 1-6-12. Triple M, IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, K-Mac, you've been all over it. It's the D's ability to get Fremantle up the ground, and then they've just got space running back towards goal on that occasion. They've done exactly that.
Yeah, that was beautiful work from Toby Bedford. It all started actually on the half-back line by Jaden Hunt. Just really took the game on, peeled off his player and made an impact. And then Petrarca, the man that we just said had been quiet, set it up beautifully through the middle of the ground. But Bedford, I actually think he was doing the team thing there. It was a bit of a shot cross. He chipped it out in front of Ben Brown, who was definitely on the goal side of his opponent, hoping that the ball would just sit up and fall into his lap, but it just dribbled through. So well done. That's a little bit of payoff for trying to do the team thing, Toby Bedford.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy of the MCG. Oliver, left foot kick out of the middle to centre half forward. Jackson, nice clean gather, athletic. Handballs back to Oliver from just outside 50. Long but not strong enough. Pearce forces it through for a behind. They extend their lead by 1, 3-3 to 1-6 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
4 minutes into the second term, already 17 disposals for Clayton Oliver.
There's the big kick outside 50. Lever box seat, went early. Gone with the spoil. Oliver at the spill, got it to Viney, back to Oliver. And then around the body inside 50. Here's Petrarca lurking. Ball sat for him. Steps back through the gate. Can Bedford kick his second? Snap around the body. He's got 2 in a minute. They're 4-3-27 Nam. The Dockers 1-6-12. 5 gone in this second term on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, this is why they're such a good footy side. It's almost a rope-a-dope. They've sat there in that first quarter. They've taken everything that Fremantle have had to throw at them. And now they've come out in this second term and throwing bombs of their own. Bedford being involved, Petrarca being involved. Obviously, the pride of these players in the group. Petrarca down on his usual output. There hasn't been a tag on him, but just his want to will himself into the game. He's been the man. He's been the catalyst in those first 2 goals.
And you look at the first 2 minutes of the first quarter, Freo had about 3 shots or could have taken a couple of marks in front of goal and either missed the opportunity or dropped a chest mark. Melbourne go down the other end in the second quarter and just have the same opportunities, except the outcome is 2 goals.
They need to win some footy out of the middle to start with Fremantle. They're being slaughtered out of the centre in this second quarter. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Here goes Oliver again. That one's touched to Jackson at centre half forward. Handballs to Dunstan. On the move from 45. This is off to the left.
Would have been a fair start. Straight on the ground, straight into the gut, spread from the stoppage, get a nice shoulders out look at them from 45. Doesn't come much easier than that. Couldn't make the most of it.
Ryan with the kick-in duties outside 50. Cox caught one in the mush. Get a free kick at right half back. Some of the Reds, Ed Heath.
Well, it's Clayton Oliver again, already up to 20 disposals, 8 in 6 minutes this quarter.
I feel like that's been 3 updates in 2 minutes and he's gone from 13 to 17 to 20.
It's Patrick Ewing on the Reds Ed stat. It's out to left half back now.
I can give you Griffin Lobb's numbers if you want as well.
Return fire. Oh boy.
Ryan.
It's getting a little tense in here.
He's going back out wide. Just happy to play a bit of possession footy here, the Dockers.
It's always intrigued me, if you are a coach, though, from Fremantle's point of view, do you pull the trigger and say, right, a Blake Acres or someone, go and run with Oliver, try and nullify him, because he's the one at the minute. Obviously, Petrarca's been quiet, but Oliver just finding the footy and doing at will what he wants with it.
Acres awkward ball. Sarong made it work, and then he sticks it inside 50. Petty couldn't quite. Hard up on the boundary, numbers with the Ds. Rivers, Brayshaw, Jordan. They tread the boundary line at right half back. Brayshaw off a step, goes down. Brown has to beat a couple. Brought it to ground, but Sarong, clean, goes back. Erasmus goes right back to centre half back and finds Ryan.
They've got an extra man over the top here. It should be the next kick for them. Walker told to play on. Melsham did a good job of corralling him, but Walker runs away. Now kicks along at half forward. Taverner presents, no mark taken. Petty was excellent. Got it to ground, and here's Jaden Hunt from left half back. Short kick for Tom Sparrow. Game number 38 today.
Move on. Play on.
Told to play on and does. Punches it low. That's not a great kick. And Mundy in the hole, marks for the Dockers.
It's the defensive side of this broadcast wing, the veteran Mundy. None by 16. He just finds a short option wide. Heath Chapman getting busy in this second term. In front of the interchange gate, he winds up, goes down the line, lever box seat, spalls towards the boundary. Hunt scrambled to keep it in, couldn't. Out of bounds, broadcast wing. 9 minutes gone, second term. It's Melbourne leading by 16 points. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Decent crowd in the house this afternoon. Dockers haven't got a great deal of support, it's got to be said. Probably no real surprise. Demons fans are loving what they're seeing in this second quarter, though. Oliver, he can't be tackled. He's got so much time and space to make decisions. Dunstan, sweeping handball to left half forward. Jordan to Viney. Little underground kick was creative. Bedford couldn't gather cleanly. That's knocked out of bounds by Luke Ryan. 35 metres around from the Demons' goals. They kick to the punt road end in this second quarter, all with thanks to Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber, Timmy, to install a Ream.
Spot on, Hev. It's the Demons by 4 at quarter time. They lead here by 16. 2 goals to Bedford in the first 5 minutes of this second term as Dunstan's laid into the turf by his ex-teammate Akers. 45 metres out from the Demons' goal. Ball back in the air now. Jackson versus Lobb. Ball down. Sarong had it stripped. Getting busy, Akers. Couldn't quite grab the handle. Did well, Dunstan. Slippery handball for Jackson. Now Neil Bullen around his body from 35. He's put it right across the face and out of bounds on the full.
On the 9 or outside 5? Outside 5?
So we haven't had a score for the last 4.5 minutes, which is probably not a bad result for the Dockers, Kate.
Yeah, they've just got to be able to get the ball out of their defensive half, though. They're having a real tough time, but that's a good contested mark there from Pearce, but they need to be able to get the ball into their forward half, and we saw in the first quarter how successful they were at keeping it there once they got it there. So if they can generate a little bit of forward half pressure and get the ball in their forward half, that's something that can really turn this game.
Heath Chapman on defensive 50, the round 8 rising star. Risky kick. Worked out okay for Clark. Dockers 1-6-12. Melbourne 4-4-28. 11 minutes gone. Clark goes to centre half back, and now Ryan can change direction. They've got a 3-on-1 on the outer side. They should be able to work this one through. Collier by hand to Tucker. Kicks into the forward pocket. Petty read it better coming in. The Logan takes a nice mark.
He read it really well, but it was a good double switch from the Dockers. Really spread the field, but this means on transition now, they'll be out, the Demons.
Through the spine. Brayshaw did well. Dunstan was the target on his knees. Handballs it back up. Neil Bullen gets it to Gawn. From a standing start, fans it wide. Here's Bedford, who's kicked a couple from 53. Pops it into the pocket. It's too heavy, though, for Viney. And the ball trickles out of bounds, left forward pocket for the Demons. 12 minutes gone, second term. It's Nam 4-4-28, leading the Dockers 1-6-12. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Jackson and Darcy doing the ruck work. Dunstan around this stoppage. Sarong trying to burst through, still inside defensive 50. Mundy's handball was hot. Chance for the Demons on the turnaround. Pickett only needed the slightest of chance to step through and drive it home. They're on top of the table for a reason, and they're starting to show it in this second quarter. 5-4-34 Anam. Fremantle 1-6-12, Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
And just again, said it earlier in the quarter, just overusing the handball, Fremantle, and they're inviting Melbourne's pressure, which is definitely cranked up in this second quarter. But you can't afford to just try and give handballs off to someone else who's probably not in a better position than you. Need to get it on the boot, even if they just swing it wide, get it to the flanks and give someone a one-on-one opportunity to run onto the footy days.
I think they're so concerned about giving the ball up cheaply to the +1 that Melbourne have manufactured behind the ball, so they are trying to force it and overuse that handball. But to your point, Kate, if you get someone's shoulders out, even if it's a hack kick close to the boundary to a decent contest, just take some territory and take the boundary throw-in, then reset the field off that. At the minute, they're just inviting the D's pressure, and they are dining out on it.
He's back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Gawn sharks his own footy and then rolls it up to half forward. Melksham, game 200. Oh, Fortuitous lands with Fritsch. Goal side. Drills it home. He just snuck out the back door, Bailey Fritsch. The ball in his lap. And he nails it from 45. He gets his second for the evening. And Melbourne have kicked the first 4 of this second term. There's 6-4-40. The Dockers 1-6-12. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, it's been dominant from the Demons, but it all's coming from their centre bounces. It feels like There's no territory being taken whatsoever from Freo because they can't get their hands on it in there. It wasn't the prettiest passage of play. I'd love to know the numbers in this quarter alone from stoppage and centre clearance, please, Heath, when you get a moment, because the Ds, they have certainly flexed.
Yeah, Red Z Landing stats, 4-0 the centre clearances so far this term, 8-3 clearances overall. Melbourne lead the game, 4 goals to none from stoppage.
When they flick a switch, it's unstoppable.
It almost is, and to the point like we're making, when it's 6-6-6 and you're taking the territory straight away, it is so hard to stop with such quality people up in that forward line.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy, another clearance win for the Demons. Fritsch handballs back to Gawn from centre half forward. Tumbly kick in the pocket. Pickett flew. Brown went up with him. Neither could mark in the end. Right forward pocket. Tap back to Pickett. Steps through, got one high.
1 metre forward.
Demons free kick.
I need to see a replay of this. That got me out of my seat. He went early. He got the double elevation and then came down and landed like a butterfly with sore feet.
Chips back in. What? Like a butterfly with sore feet?
You ever seen a butterfly land with sore feet?
That's very National Geographic of you, Days. I don't mind it. Spargo looks for a marking target. None coming. Ball fisted back towards Melbourne's goal. 35 out. Here's Rivers. Stops. Starts from 40. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Gawn wrestling with Lob. And it's slapped through for a behind. You're in my head now.
It's contagious.
Yeah, I know.
Is it Lob? Is it Log?
I'll have to do it.
Could be Log. They're on fire here, the Demons. They lead by 29. And they've kicked 4 in this second term as Cox drives it long and deep, but Big Max parked underneath. Takes a strong mark, 70 from home, puts it back inside 50, running back with a flight. Petrarca takes it a metre inside the boundary, left forward pocket, and he'll kick this from just inside the paint.
They're just firing on all cylinders at the moment now. Max Gawn taking intercept marks and hitting Christian Petrarca inside 50. It's just exactly what we've seen from Melbourne over the past 17 games and then some that they've been able to win. But, yeah, danger signs here for Fremantle if they can't stop the flow.
9 goals, 17 this year. Hasn't been his year in front of goal, Christian Petrarca, but he can make amends here in front of the members. Hits it from right on the perimeter, just skinny. Faded to the left late. There's 6-6-42, the Demons. Dockers 1-6-12. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Stand.
Well, the concerns for the Dockers is, as we've spoken about, they can't get the ball out of their defensive 50, so they need to try something because at the minute it's almost death by 1,000 cuts. They need to take the game on, try and take a risk because at the moment, living long down the line is just causing turnover after turnover as we see here again.
Just like that one, Tucker put it straight onto the chest of Angus Brayshaw, outer side wing. 30-point lead for the Demons.
And I guess this has been the issue so far with Fremantle is that they don't seem to have a second mode of play.
Rivers stepped through a little too easy from that tackle. Had a couple to choose from. Sat it on the head of Melksham. 50 out from goal. Fisted away and gone. Handballing back towards the voice. Frederick dashed through, but with one hand. Couldn't take it for Fremantle. It's kicked off the ground and Nama structured up so well behind the ball that they've got time to reload, start again and look to the members' wing to Sparrow.
Love to hear Gorney's numbers this quarter when you get a chance, Heath. He's been enormous.
Yeah, Max Gawn, 7 disposals this quarter, I should say, 12 for the game.
He's got a couple of centre clearances in there. He just seems like he's flicked a switch, Big Max, as Walker, deep in defence. He pumps a high one outside 50. Oh, good, strong mark. Guess who? Logue. Right half back for the Dockers. He's got a little short option, dangerous. Akers, the late spoil came from Jordan, but he'll get a free kick, Akers.
Because I tell you, that's probably not the kick when you've had that much trouble getting the ball even just to halfway. One that's probably not going to be paid as 15, and then someone is right on his back as well, but lucky to get the free kick.
High and long, Walters went early, took a good mark. Now he looks forward, Frederick has leaked out the back door, takes it hard up on the boundary, 65 from home, low, flat delivery, and Lob takes it right on attacking 50.
Well, again, it was a nice passage of play, but they've had to tightrope the boundary line the whole way up. So from a Melbourne point of view, you're happy to give that up. If you're giving up something, this is the least dangerous mode as it comes down into the forward 50 for Fremantle.
So they're yet to score in this second term. Only 7 minutes left. He's hard up on the boundary, hits it from 52. I tell you what, it's gone right to the line, ball off hands. And then in the end, Lever kills it over for a one behind. He gave it every possibility there, Rory Lobb. And their first score for the quarter, they're 1-7-13, Nam 6-6-42, Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
That's their first score of the quarter, the Dockers.
Yeah, one of my great frustrations, that is, when you see a player go back from 55 and lob it to the goal line. You want to see them either make the distance, go a talk, do something, or pull a kick, because that is just easy picking for defenders.
Melbourne. Short kick. Down the outer side wing. Robbo, down to you for Bob Jane Teamarts.
Yeah, no sign of Stephen May. That's the big news in this first half. The fact that he failed the concussion test after being cleaned up by Lever. A teammate smacked his head on the green stuff. Hasn't reappeared. We might see him after half time. Probably showered up, but big news. Demons, no Stephen May concussion.
Bowie. Kicks to half forward. Darcy should chop that off and he's paid the mark. Robbo down there for Bob Jane Teamarts. Buy a set of 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph X camper trailer.
They've coughed it up. No, they haven't. Tucker did well. Got it up to Brayshaw. Streaming through the spine. He comes laterally wide now to Young.
Outside 5.
In the middle of the MCG. He goes short on the 45 to Brodie. Right near the centre circle. Handball's back to this broadcast box side. Chapman got it to Brayshaw and then back to Brodie. Fans it wide. Walker back in the side this week, trying to impress. Just game 18 for that man. His kick a bit heavy there for Brodie on the turnover. Good tackle there laid by Brayshaw. Pinned the arm and the umpire rewards it. So he's probably just beyond him here, Brayshaw. At the 21-minute mark of the second term. They're yet to kick a major in this second quarter. Maybe just load up with the barrel here, Days.
I would have, but no, he's gone to switch.
He certainly has. He goes in the middle of the ground, finds Cox.
Outside 5.
Kicking a half out from goal. Cox searching for Lobb. Gawn got in the hole. And Lobb was doing some holding as well. So the Demons free kick. Leave it to take it. Saw all of that on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Get your next phone your way. The best brands at the best prices. Come in store today and speak to Harvey Norman's mobile experts. Sparrow takes a good mark under pressure. It's the next level. It's the Jordans, the Sparrows, the Rivers, Kate. They're growing with every game.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we've seen them grow all of last season, and now this season they're almost looking like seasoned professionals and super comfortable with what they're doing and their role within the team.
Viney, right on the Sir Doug Nicholls round logo. Decides to come wide, back to that man Jordan in front of the interchange gates. It's been a 4-goal-to-none second term here for the D's. 2 to Bedford as Jordan goes long and strong to half forward, and Cox too strong for Wiedemann. They lead by 29 here, Nam. The Dockers build through defence again. They switch it to the outer side. Chapman just inside defensive 50, comes back to corridor. Clark. Slow, patient stuff here. Not in a hurry here, the Dockers. He goes back out wide to Chapman. Left half back. A low darting ball for Collier through his fingertips. That's Brayshaw for the Demons mopping up. He got it out to Petty. Handball to Bowie. Then he goes to Spargo. Frederick tries to run him down. Got the handball out to Brayshaw. Wheels onto the right. Goes down the line. Finds Neil Bullen. 60 metres from home, hard up on the boundary.
29-point lead of the Demons. Neil Bullen back over his mark. Pickett couldn't get a run at it. Ground level crummers everywhere. Viney stood up in a tackle. Handball's off. And from the top of the goal square, Bailey Fritsch shells one. You'd pencil that in just about 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, you certainly would. That's a very easy kick for most footballers, let alone a left footer at the top of the goal square. A let off for Fremantle, but again, hemmed in now in their own defensive half.
They build again out of defence here, the Dockers. Tucker in the right back pocket. He's just got no movement ahead of him. Players out on their feet with 3 minutes to go in this second term. He decides to go down the line, which is what the D's want. Darcy, Walters, got it to Brodie. Just handballs goal side for Walters. Jordan did well. Got a little bit bumped on the kick, and then he gets it back in his hands. Bounced back to his feet around the body. It's all Dockers back there, and Tucker takes it at right half back.
Yeah, and Tim, it's it's slow ball movement, and that's fine that they want to take a little bit of sting out of this quarter, but it's the person with the ball that can move slow, but everyone else on the field still needs to keep moving. It's like they've all just sort of switched off here. There's no movement up the ground as this passage of play looks a little bit better from Fremantle.
They've got the corridor. Clark, long kick, searching for lob, found him. Great call, Kate. That's their best passage of play this quarter.
Yeah, it's just the person with the ball can be still and steady and slow down, but everyone else up from the field still needs to keep moving and generate some space, whether it's your wingers hitting wide and getting out to the boundary to create 45s back on the inside. But at the moment, just a bit too stagnant. At least then they got some overlap run through the middle of the ground.
He's kicked their only goal of the game. That came at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. He's got 2 and Fremantle have got 2. 2-7-19 on the IGA Liquor scoreboard. Now the Dockers, 6-7-43 IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
It's pretty well done by the D's as well, Kate. They've sensed that Fremantle have gone into that kick mark sort of mode of game. And there, when they have switched it just along the arc of 50, they haven't pressed out. So their first line of defence has just shuffled across as the ball's gone. Therefore, there are no holes. So usually when you do switch, as we say, you try and open up the ground, whether it be with width or through the corridor to try to pick the defence apart. But the D's, they've kept their system, they've kept their shape, and they've just shuffled with the ball. No one's pressed out. No one's collapsed or created a hole. That's why Fremantle have had so much trouble moving the ball in this second term.
And the most impressive part of that is no Stephen May in the back line to kind of orchestrate that. He's their main leader down there. So well done to the back line of Melbourne.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The clearance again here with the Dockers. Brayshaw with a late surge, goes inside 50, and his brother, parked underneath, takes the mark. That's Angus, comes back out wide. Oliver going back with the fly, courageous, takes it on the broadcast wing. Thought about the handball wide and then pivots, spits the kick to Dunstan. Back in the side this week. Thought about the handball inboard, indecisive, goes back out wide to Viney, breaks the 50, a chiselling ball into the pocket, the big fly from Wiedemann. Takes it inches inside the boundary, left forward pocket. Check this out on the Harvey Norman. He got a little ride there, Daisy boy.
He certainly did. He did it well. There was a defender in front of him. He almost used his own man to launch into him. Got the elevation. Really nice hang-up.
He opens up the goal mouth, snaps around the body and slams it into the woodwork. 2/3 of the way up the post. 6-8-44 the D's. Dockers 2-7-19. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
You have to go back and kick that goal, so take your time, because not only do you get a rest, but you also get to watch it on the Harvey Norman replay on the big screen here at the G. Let everyone else enjoy your work.
Late in for today's game, Tom McDonald out with an ankle injury. Akers kicks a running banana. Not a bad one either. From half back to half forward. Taverner marks as the clock ticks down to 30 seconds. Looks back inside for Andrew Brayshaw. Lateral to Young, who's one of their preferred kickers. Ace was his target in the pocket. That kick was too hot, and Viney can run it out of defence. They've got 15 seconds to take it from one end to the other. Bowie's kick over the top for Dunstan. Slapped it forward cleverly. Still time for Melbourne if they're good enough. Melksham handballs to Pickett. 60 metres out from goal. Looking for a mark in the pocket. He couldn't find Brown. And there'll be a throw in with 1 second left on the clock. Melbourne have made their move in this second quarter and taken a 2-point lead at quarter time and turn it into a 25-point lead at the main break. A dominant quarter of footy from the reigning premiers. They look the goods at the Triple M CG. 6-8-44 to Fremantle, 2-7-19 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Kate McCarthy and Daisy Thomas in the back row. Ethan Meldrum has got all the Red Z lenders that matter. Mickey Roberts boundary side. For Bob Jane Team Arts, Timmy Solly and Jack Heverin calling all the action. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water and Sir Doug Nichols round, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Sir Doug Nichols round continues with West Coast and the Western Bulldogs.
McLean, that's a goal.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
The McChicken is simply simple. No bells or whistles. Just a crispy chicken patty and fresh lettuce smothered in creamy McChicken sauce. Hey, we said no bells and whistles. McChicken. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Available after 10:30am.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. When it comes to tyres and wheels, Bob Jane T-Marts looks after you in more ways than one. Buy 3, get 1 free, and up to $100 instant cashback on a great selection of top tyre brands including Bridgestone, Yokohama, Dunlop, Michelin, Goodyear and J-Trax. Buy 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Oztrack camper trailer, plus over 2Ks of extras from HEMA and GME. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Australia, get ready. Next Sunday, our time, our belt, your champion, and the biggest boxing event in Australian history. Be a part of history as undisputed Australian champion George Kambosos Jr. defends his title in Melbourne at Marvel Stadium against American superstar Devin Haney. Kambosos v Haney next Sunday. Now the last tickets now at Ticketek.
Never miss a moment with KO Sports. All of your favourites live, including every game of the NRL and AFL seasons, every F1 race, the NBA playoffs, and so much more. New to KO? Start your free trial today.
When you've tried everything to quit smoking, Quitline counsellors find an approach you hadn't thought of. When you have a slip-up, Quitline helps you get back on track. When no one knows how stressful it is, Quitline gets what you're going through. Trained Quitline counsellors, many of them ex-smokers, will listen and tailor strategies for you. Wherever you are on your quitting journey, Quit is here to help. Call 13 78 48 or find us at quit.org.au or on Facebook.
It's Value the Australian Way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like creamy Hass avocados, 100% Aussie and 2 for just $3. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
The GWM Ute is up for the challenge. Born tough and built smart to give you more. More features, reliability, comfort and safety for less. GWM Ute. Go with more.
If you look, you'll find us everywhere. We might not look or sound alike, but we all share the one thing. We're friends, neighbours, teammates, family. And we're not just blood donors. We're the lifeblood of Victoria. Join us. Search Give Blood and book your donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood today. Give life. Give blood.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Sir Doug Nicholls' round continues with West Coast and the Western Bulldogs.
McLean, that's a goal.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
Triple MCG, Sir Doug Nicholls round. And Melbourne really lit up that second term. 2 goals to Fritsch, 2 goals to Bedford. And they lead here at the major break, 6-8-44. The Dockers 2-7-19. But Daisy Thomas and Kate McCarthy in the back row. Before we dissect it all with them, we go to this man on the Triple M Red Z Lending stats, Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, a couple of numbers in Fremantle's favour. A lot of marks, a lot of kicks. 75% by foot in that term. 42 marks in that quarter to Melbourne's 22. Just a lot in their back half. Melbourne 17 inside 50s to 8 in their favour. 8 forward half intercepts to 0. 9 shots on goal to 1. All in Melbourne's favour. Leading players on the ground, it's Clayton Oliver leading the way. 24 disposals to half-time. He's Melbourne's number 1 ranked player, closely followed by Jack Viney. 18 touches, 7 clearances for the game. For the Dockers, few leading ball winners. Andy Brayshaw up to 15. Will Brodie also up to 15 as well.
And we'll go Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break, book, direct and save with choicehotels.com earlier today and the game later tonight.
Yeah, a couple of games earlier today. It was Geelong jumping into the top 4. 42-point win over Adelaide. Adelaide now 3-8 for the season. An entertaining game up in Brisbane. Brisbane and GWS. 14 points to the margin in Brisbane's favour. 110-96. Brisbane now 9-2 for the season. Later tonight, we're going straight to West Coast v the Western Bulldogs over in Perth.
Fine stuff from you, Heath. This is the half-time break from Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. Daisy, Kate, talk us through that first half.
Well, the second quarter in particular, from a Demons point of view, they were absolutely fantastic. The first quarter, as we spoke about, was a lot of Fremantle and them throwing everything they had at the Demons. And the Demons were good enough to take everything they had and just wait for their own opportunities. And in that second term, they got plenty of them. They were dominant from centre clearance and centre bounces. They took territory, but the looks they got were fantastic. And as Heath was just talking about then, yes, Fremantle had a lot of the ball, a lot of kick marks. They obviously went at a high ratio of kicking percentage, but the Demons' ability to recognise the different modes in which Fremantle went into. So they obviously tried to play fast in the first term. Then they set up defensively, forced them into slow play, but they let them chip the ball around their back 50 and nobody pressed out. They just shifted as an entire defensive unit, and Fremantle had no answers. They tried the double switch at times, but Melbourne just set up so beautifully. They forced them into a pocket, and then at some point they either forced Fremantle into trying to bite off a aggressive kick that wasn't on, getting a turnover and an easy look, or they kicked it long down the line where their big boys were set up, and on the back of that they played.
Yeah, and they just controlled the entire quarter, and as a result are well ahead in this game now. And coming out of half-time, you'd want Freo to sort of look to get some, I guess, generate some run from half-back as well. Break that first line. If they can get through that first line of Melbourne defence, then if they don't want to press up, you've got all the ground in the middle, but they're going to have to, if you break that line, come up, push up, and then try and get some true one-on-ones ahead of the ball, or even what Melbourne have been doing, being able to get the ball out the back. Freo have pushed up so high when they're defending, and the ball's just carried over a couple of times. We saw it was Bedford that got on the end of one of them that was actually trying to kick it to Ben Brown, but ended up in a goal, and then on the other hand, it was Petrarca that also got a shot on goal as a result.
And we spoke about Fremantle trying to disconnect the field, and then Melbourne, conversely, their forwards are trying to condense the field to allow that space out the back. So they've been fantastic. Clayton Oliver's been the one as well. He's been in absolutely everything. So if I'm in the Fremantle coach's box, I'm going to speak to someone. I'm not sure if they have a tagger or someone who has the ability to go and lock down on somebody, but you can't be beaten by what you know, and at the moment he's the man doing all the damage.
Yeah, and the damage is then translating to the scoreboard. They're being owned in the stoppage. Scores from stoppage Ds are plus 24, and I'd say a lot of those coming from clearances from Clayton Oliver.
This is the half-time break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. I just want to get your views, guys, on Big Mac Scott. I know we talk about him a lot. Where do you see him in the ranks of all-time ruckmen? We know he's been an All-Australian. A few years ago, it was him and Grundy in the same breath. He's almost pushed his game to another level while Grundy's faded away. Where do we see Max Gawn in regards to the all-time ruckman?
He's an absolute elite ruckman of the competition, and in terms of, he's certainly in that conversation of all time. His ability to have impact on the game, not only in the ruck but ahead of the ball, but then his work rate as well to be a part of the defensive structure. He does it all. He does it on the ground level. He tackles. Think back to the grand final, I think, as he mowed down Caleb Daniel on the wing there. His ability to have impact throughout an entire match is unbelievable for a man of his size. And the thing that he's doing well, he's hitting the scoreboard now. So every sort of deficiency he had in his game, he's worked on, added to it. And he's certainly in that conversation of one of the great ruckmen of our game.
Yeah, one of the things that impresses me the most is his foot skills, his ability to hit targets, his ability to know when a short kick's on or when it's time to pump it long and get territory. And his footy IQ has just grown and grown as he's gotten better and better, and just, yeah, his positioning around the ground, but that ability to hit targets, to then get forward, get on the end of it. But yeah, he's just got weapons all over the ground.
And add to that as well his leadership qualities as the captain of the footy club. So not only is he worrying about his own game, he's directing and encouraging his charges out there, and at the moment he's doing a fantastic job of that as well.
Just to touch briefly, just quickly on Jake Melksham, obviously 200 games tonight. He had a very slow start, couldn't get a touch in that first term. They put him out to the wing in that second quarter, working his way into the game.
Yeah, he certainly will. Obviously not ideal to go touchless in the first quarter. In your big game, you want to get out there, and sometimes you can try too hard. You're so excited, you want to get involved. You've got your opportunity back in the side. So just to take a little bit of a breath and get yourself involved in the game. Usually it's from a tackle or something that gets you going, and then you sort of find your rhythm. No doubt as this game game starts to open up and break open in this second half, he'll be able to find some space and hopefully get involved a little bit more.
And just before we go to the break, the game last night between the Tigers and the Swans, a very big moment right at the end of the game. I've seen you kick the ball away a few times, Days, over the career. How'd you make that big moment right on the siren when the free kick was prayed? It was booted up into the stands by Chad Warner. The right decision paid on the day?
I think so. I think the fact that the whistle wasn't heard by anyone. Prestia wasn't saying, it was my free kick. Nobody heard the whistle. Richo was on the ground ready to do some interviews. Just a bit of common sense prevailed in an industry where common sense isn't that common, Tim.
Well, good to see you've still got some common sense, Daisy, floating around up there. Well, it's half-time here at the Triple MCG. Nahm, they're getting it done here. They lead here 6-8-44. The Dockers 2-7-19. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power. Backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Timmy, with over 37 years' experience, the Growth MySuper investment option has returned an average of 9.25% per annum for all of its members.
Unbelievable, Hev. So whatever hard work you do, CBus Super are making your money work as hard as you. CBus Super making hard work pay off.
You can find out more at cbussuper.com.au. The next bit.
Here's the disclaimer, Hev. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. To consider if CBus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for the PDS and TMD. Spoken by T. Solly.
Very good.
Triple M's tickets or crickets. Spin the wheel, win the tickets.
Let's see what you get. 2 tickets to Hamilton the Musical.
Oh, amazing. That's awesome. We're keeping those ones for sure.
2 tickets to Guns N' Roses live at the MCG.
Oh, awesome.
There we go.
That's unreal.
Get the Second Chance code word 7:30 and 8:30 weekdays with Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. And listen all day to Spin the Wheel. Tickets or crickets on 105.1 Triple M.
The McChicken is simply simple. No bells or whistles. Just a crispy chicken patty and fresh lettuce smothered in creamy McChicken sauce. Hey, we said no bells and whistles. McChicken. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Available after 10:30am.
Is your construction or excavator business ready to purchase or upgrade? Here's an end of financial year deal you can't miss. Ultro Planted Equipment, selling the world's leading Sani excavator, have excavator packages for big and small business, minis and up to 15.5 tonne, all with a 5-year warranty and quick hitch included. Don't miss out on these bundled deals and the tax write-off. Find out more at ultroplanedequipment.com.au. We'll even throw in a $250 diesel voucher per purchase.
You'll never miss a moment with all of your favourites live on KO Sports. Every match of the NRL and AFL seasons, as well as every F1 race live and ad break free during play. The NBA playoffs are also heating up, and it's the biggest season of netball ever. That's right, all the big hits, high-flying heroics and buzzer beaters ready to watch anywhere, anytime. How good is that? New to KO? Start your free trial today.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Receive a $600 Harvey Norman gift card when you connect to a new $69 a month, 24-month SIM-only plan with 80 gigabytes of data for use in Oz. Available now at Harvey Norman. Offer ends 29th May. Not available with any other offers. Minimum plan cost $1,656 over 24 months. Visit hn.com.au/Optus-BYO for terms and conditions.
The abuse of older people is hard to talk about, but it's a form of family violence, and it's unacceptable. Often it's committed by a daughter, a son, or a loved one, and what starts out small doesn't always stay that way. If you or someone you know is experiencing elder abuse, talk with a trusted family member or your GP. For more information, visit respectvictoria.vic.gov.au. Respect older people. Call it out. Supported by the Victorian Government.
Go big in the Nissan Patrol. It's got a huge 5.6-litre V8, a 3.5-tonne brake towing capacity, and effortless off-road performance. Pre-order your Patrol at your Nissan dealer today. T's and C's apply.
Good blokes don't abuse female umpires. Great blokes call it out. Triple M stands against umpire abuse.
Hey there, I'm Amy Goggins. We start with some breaking news, and David Littleproud is said to put his hand up for the Nationals leadership. The Queensland MP says he has advised Barnaby Joyce of his decision to nominate. The party will make a call at a meeting on Monday. Well, a week into the top job, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he wants to keep it real. He's been snapped with a racket in hand, having a hit out at his local tennis court in Sydney today. Albo says playing the sport is good for his mental health.
You can't think about other things like what's going on in the world or climate change or the decision-making processes that you've got to do. So I find for my mental health, it's a pretty useful use of my time.
Also making news today, an Australian humanitarian has died after heading to Ukraine to help in the fight against Russia. DFAT says it's providing consular assistance to the family of the 48-year-old man. Donald Trump has addressed the US's powerful gun lobby, where he's claimed the recent mass shooting in Texas is a reason to arm, not disarm. And Novak Djokovic says he doesn't hold any grudges and is still keen to come back down under and play in next year's Australian Open. He was booted out of the country earlier this year because of his vax status. Novak says he's not sure if his visa will be reinstated following the change in government, but he would love to be back.
Take charge of your future. Get all your uni questions answered at Deacon's Virtual Open Day, Sunday, June 5. Search Deakin Open Day and register today.
A bit of cloud about with some light winds as well. Tomorrow is looking partly cloudy, the chance of some early morning fog, heading for a high of 16 degrees. And our listener app is the new home of Triple M. Download now to listen live or on demand.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Both sides back out on the ground here at the MCG. Half-time, the Demons leading 6-8-44 to the Dockers, 2-7-19 for McDonald to Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. As soon as we finish up this game, we'll take you to the west for West Coast and the Western Bulldogs. The full team will be assembled at Optus Stadium. Xavier Ellis, Tommy Atkinson, the Norm Smith medalist Andrew Embley, and one of the best humans that's ever graced the planet, Lockie Reed, will be calling all of the action. But it's time for us to get to our half-time Amy Clanger. Who covers clangers on and off the field days? Amy does. There's been some serious production that's gone into this one.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Let's take a listen.
He spins the ball in his hands, Michael Frederick. And now he looks into the pocket. The crowd forms. Tabner floating in from the side. Log. Griffin Logue in game 52. Usually see him up the other end of the ground. That might be an Amy Clanger.
The big log, the big tall timber was up there. And it was the tallest of them all, big Griffin Log.
Oh, I called it and I just looked back and everyone was laughing. Spoken by T. Solly.
That's good.
Little disclaimer.
Leroy. Some of his sharpest.
Well done, Leroy.
That could have been worse.
Well, you know, when there's a lob and a logue, sometimes you just go in the middle and see where you land. That's where I landed on that occasion, Days.
Timmy, I am well with you in this. A man who came up with befuddled and bewildered and come up with bewhiddled or something in between. I still don't know which one's the right one, but I just run with it. So, look, hopefully we can sort that out for the second half. I'm not going to say that was underwhelming, but for the production value and the build-up to it, I thought there might have been a touch more to that player as well.
No,
I thought they were going to mix it to a song.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really good. So, like, strong effort, but no, we love our Amy Clangers. Be better, Leroy.
That's just a bit of feedback for you, Leroy. Yeah. For Bob Jane Seamarts, here's Robbo. Robbo?
Yep, just having a look at Stephen May. He's just out in front of me. He's talking to the coach. He's also talking to the physio and the doctor. So they're just going through exactly what happened. He got a clip from Lever. He's out because of the concussion. Don't forget that Melbourne plays Sydney next. So there's 12 days. If he's suffering from the concussion, he doesn't play next week. Buddy Franklin's the other one. So they're going to look at that with Cochin. So you might have Franklin out and May out. He's just given the thumbs up to a few of the supporters here. So that's good that he's actually come out of the rooms and surfaced to show that he's okay. He'll sit on the back of the pine. So Stephen May out of this contest with concussion. And, he's going to miss the Sydney game. Looks like.
Buddy not going for that, is he?
I would hate to think so. Yeah. I think he'll get a fine. There'll be some financial sanction, which obviously isn't a real issue for the big Budwar, but it'd be absolute catastrophe if he was rubbed out for a week for that.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here's Big Tim.
Darcy and Gawn. They both get a little hand on. Viney attacks it hard as always. Aish in the middle. Lays the tackle on Viney. Ball out. Walters did well. Handball sideways to Brayshaw. A high up and under inside 50. Logs there. And then a left foot ball from 50 from Brayshaw. Out of bounds on the full. So Young, beneficiary, right half forward. Sort of throw an early log in there.
Did you mean to do it?
Well, you'll never know.
No, I think we do know.
Spoken by T. Solly.
Kicks deep. Free kick's going to go to Fremantle. Harvey Norman replay.
Well,
it's happening to be the recipient.
I think it's against Lever, and he's having a good old look up, a good old Bo Peep up at that big screen just to see what happened. We get a look at it here. Engage. There's not a whole lot in that, but a good start for Fremantle if he can go back and kick it. Every now and then you just need a nice, easy one to get you going.
Goalless last week, Matt Taberner. Hasn't had a huge say in this game so far. Needs to kick this, and does. Dockers strike first in the third quarter. They're 3-7-25. The Demons 6-8-44 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores nationwide, expert trade teams and exclusive trade services, a huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories, making every tradie's job easier. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
And the thing that the Dockers will be most pleased with out of that goal was the centre clearance, an area that they got absolutely dominated in the second quarter. They were able to win the centre clearance, get it inside 50, then put a bit of pressure back on Melbourne coming out of their defensive 50. Something that they didn't see since the first quarter.
And we know that Melbourne clearly outplayed them in that second term there, but it's going to be the response I'm looking for from Fremantle, with lots been spoken about. Are they the real deal? Are they in that conversation? Well, in this next quarter and a half, we find that out.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water back in the middle. Viney, head over the peel. Going off the deck, kicking in danger. Darcy had his hands there. They're going to take the advantage here, the Dockers. Mundy, handball back inboard for Brayshaw. A little squirting, chiselling ball onto the chest of Rory Lobb. 48 metres out, very slight angle.
He's been good today, Rory Lobb. He's led at everything, given his mids and small forwards a real target forward of the footy. Had a couple of difficult shots, one that just didn't quite make the distance, and he's kicked two himself. So he's had a pretty impressive half so far this afternoon.
He's a real enigma, isn't he? When he's on, the Dockers seem up and about. For his third, he hits it from 52. Distance not an issue. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. They got the first two of this third term, the Dockers. They're 4-7-31. Nam 6-8-44, and Lobb's got three.
Well, fantastic work by Big Darcy in the centre. He was the man who put his head over the ball as Max Gawn tried to kick it out, got the free kick for in danger, and they played the advantage off that. I love the fact when Rory Lobb is leading up at the kicker. So often we see him, and I've seen him live once this year down against the Essendon Bombers, and he sits there in the forward pocket with the Saturday Night Fever leads going. You're not sure where to kick it. He tries to make it an athletic contest. He's got wheels. He's got really good juke. So when he's coming at you, he's got presence as well. He draws your eyes, and it's such easy kicks. And when you're going back and striking them like them from beyond the paint, it's good to see.
Robbo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, physio out to Petty, staying on the ground. He is up there in defence. He's landed awkwardly. It's a left leg situation, in a lot of pain. Proppy's still out there.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Great pick up on the bounce from Shields. Turns and kicks around the body. Bouncing inside 50. Went through the fingers of Lobb. He had men on. Handball goes back to Hunt. He's tackled by Walters at the top of the goal square.
No pride.
They've come out to play in this third quarter, Fremantle.
Real nice chance here to get a set play going as well. Try and open up some space, see if Darcy can find someone wrapping around.
Margin 13 points, deep in attack. Tap down. Logue couldn't quite grab the handle. They shared around inside a phone box, the D's, then the handball wide from Spargo. Miss Brayshaw. Out of bounds, right forward pocket for the Dockers. Starting to find some voice here, the fans. We've moved into evening. 5 minutes gone, third term. As the players set up, left of your radio dial, deep in attack here for the Dockers. Darcy tried to go the double grab, through his fingers. Oliver got it out to Gawn, tackled by Brayshaw. Coming through Collier. Knocked it out for Viney. He's slung to the turf. Now Brayshaw for the Dockers. Back to a dangerous spot. Lowe couldn't quite. And now on the turnover, steady head Jordan puts it out to grass.
Some work to do though. Melksham happy to take it towards the boundary line. Gets that result in the end. Out in front of Blake Acres. Throw in. Members side of the Triple MCG. The Dockers have kicked the first two of the third term. They're 4-7-31. The Demons 6-8-44. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And that kick out of the defensive 50 was one that Freo could not get in the second term, just kicking it out to space, letting Melksham do the work. He played it really cleverly as well, not giving away the deliberate free kick.
Neil Bullen from the back of the stoppage. Contest on the wing. Crumbs fall to Pickett. He's got a one-on-one inside 50. A long searching kick for Brown. Did he hang on? It's been paid a mark just inside the boundary line. Only just.
Ben, you're going to have to come round.
In the right forward pocket, Ben Brown. Played his 150th game last week against his former club.
Thank you. 10, 9, 8.
How does he do this, only being able to take 3 steps and then kick it with the boundary line in the way?
He's going to chip into the pocket. It didn't look like he was going to have the shot in the end. Then he was afterwards Petrarca. No mark taken. Alex Pearce kicks out of defence, but they're not out of danger just yet, although Bowie turns it over. That's not 15 for Walters. Defensive 50. The Dockers find a way through Aish.
A high up and under the broadcast wing. 2-on-2. Schultz versus Gawn. Courageous stuff by young Schultz as he trots to the boundary line, shoulders out. We'll have a ball in on this broadcast wing. 7 minutes gone, third term.
Well, that's a kick they weren't willing to take in the first term, just in the corridor, but hack it wide, take the territory and the stoppage.
Dunstan front and square, out to Jimmy Jordan. Oliver, back to Jordan, tucks it under the wing, runs his full measure, and then belts a high, long one inside 50. Fritsch was held for a moment. Now Pickett lurking, front and centre, snaps around the body. And it was always too shallow, out of bounds on the full. So they'll reset from defence here, the Dockers. They've kicked the first two of this third term, and they trail by 13 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Move it on.
Hayden Young to bring him back in. Pick number 7 from the 2019 draft. Lob was the target. He couldn't hang on to it. Umpire calls for it now. Robbo for Bob Jane Teamarts.
Yeah, I thought he was proppy. Harrison Petty straight into the rooms now. Trying to support that left side. So I reckon it's an ankle problem, left ankle. Medicos, doctor and physio with the medical kit into the rooms. Can't afford to lose Petty, knowing that Stephen May's done with concussion.
Bob Jane Teamarts by a set of 4 monster wheels and off-road tyres to enter to win an Austrac Telegraph X camper trailer. The Demons by 13 points at this throw-in.
Right half forward here for Melbourne. Ball in, Jackson versus Darcy. Jackson with the tip of the fingers down. Melksham, game 200. In and under. Tackled by Brody. The umpire says, give it to me. Right half forward for the Demons. Red Zeds, Heath.
Yeah, Fremantle, number 1 pressure team in the competition. Their pressure factor 248 in this quarter. AFL average is 180.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed as Darcy gives away the free kick in the ruck contest. Jackson with ball in hand. He's 70 from home in front of this members wing.
Move it on. Play on.
There's a lot of players back inside 50 now. He just pops it into the hot spot. Numbers with the Dockers. Good spore came from Pearce, and Dunstan tracks the footy out of bounds.
Just looking at that matchup, so Tabernar is on Jaden Hunt. Hunt giving away 11 centimetres in height and 11 kilos as well. So a good mismatch for Freo if they can get it forward.
Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy, all the Triple M Seabus super special comments. Gawn took it out of the ruck and then snaps. It's not going to make the distance. It's helped through by Pearce for a behind. 6-9, 45 Nam. Fremantle 4, 7:31 as we tick up to 10 minutes gone in this third quarter on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
They're holding up well here inside defensive 50. A few repeat entries from Melbourne going inside their forward 50, and they've been able to just get away with either a stoppage or a behind in that occasion.
As they attack through the corridor here, Darcy goes to half forward. Logue, Tabner, handballs wide for Lob, looks into the spine, drives a long one to the hot spot, big one-on-one. Collier just outsized as Brayshaw takes the defensive mark. Almost ran himself into trouble when he played on. Scrambles a horrible outside 50 and finds Dunstan.
The sub for today's game, as Robbo told us, Stephen May subbed out in the first quarter with concussion. After some friendly fire with Jake Lever. Spargo got it on the left foot. That's okay to Jackson. Outer side wing. He's got Neil Bullen inboard. Steps through a tackle. Handballs to a runner driving by in Bedford. He's short. Into the pocket. Has Bailey Fritsch.
Well, the missed tackle absolutely kills you there on the wing. It was Alex Pearce coming forward to try and make the defensive play, but got walked through, which just means that Melbourne's so good at then finding the extra as the defender had pressed forward. Just Joe the Goose it all the way into the forward line. Well done to Brayshaw as well. A huge one-on-one in the goal square with Collier. Too big, too strong.
He's kicked 3 goals in the last 2 games that he's played. Looking for 3 from the pocket. That is so good. Threads the eye of the needle. Bailey Fritsch pushes it back out to a 20-point lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, Alex Pearce, he won't be happy with that, neither will the Fremantle defensive coach. Rule number 1 of defence, if you're going to leave your line, you need to impact. And you said it yourself, Days, he was just walked around. It wasn't even huge change of direction. It was from, I think it was Luke Jackson handballed it off. It was Neil Bullen, so just a little fade and got around him so easily. And then it was just raffling it for who wanted to have a kick. But what a finish, Bailey Fritsch. The minute it left his boot, he turned around, had the one finger in the air, and said to the crowd, how do you like it?
Bob Jane, T-Marts, Robbo.
Yeah, Harrison Petty out of the rooms now, just having a word to Simon Goodwin, just taking some painkillers. Probably a little bit of juice in that ankle, retaped. Physio and doctor out with him. I reckon they'll persevere with him. They need to with May out.
McDonald's and Ream hot water. Darcy with the clearance. The high 9-9 to half forward. Lob. Spilt the mark. He butters up. He's claimed in the tackle. Out to Waish. Handballs to Brayshaw. From a standing start. Gets it on the right boot inside 50. The small came from Lieber. Out the back. Taberner. Snaps towards goal and Brayshaw saving the day on the last line of defence. Takes it just before it was about to travel through. A lead here by 20 Melbourne. 12 and a half gone third term.
He's been unbelievable in his move to defence.
Yeah.
A really good midfielder, an unbelievable winger, and then just his ability to accept the role that he's been given and go back there and make not only a decent fist of it, but he's coming an elite halfback flanker in the competition.
Spargo picks up the crumbs and overcooks that kick. Missed his captain Gawn by a fair way. Alex Pearce, the Dockers skipper, marks. Looks to the Shane Warne stand side. Will Brodie. What are his Red Z lenders, Heath? Will Brodie for the Dockers?
Will Brodie, disposal number 16. He's coming up for 4 inside 50s as well.
Kicks it to the tip of 50. Lob. Used his body well. Got rid of Jackson. And marks just outside 50. Back over his mark. Taberner in the goal square with Hunt. Being held. There's that size that you were talking about, Daisy. And Taberner should kick his second from the goal square.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you do. When you get a good mismatch, you need to exploit it. They did that, and in that fashion, you obviously want the ball coming in as quick as possible. Jaden Hunt, undersized, had to do something. Grabbing it was.
The Dockers get it back to 14 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier. Robbo.
Petty limping on for Melbourne, so they're going to roll the dice with him going down into the square. And I just noticed that Luke Ryan off the ground, blood rule, opened up on the sconce, right on top. Bit of blood with the blood rule, got cleaned up outer side half-back flank.
Yeah, and it was Rory Lobb again taking the mark at the top of 50. He's been super impressive so far this game, kicking his own goals, but just his awareness to know that the mismatch was in the goal square, got it in as quick as he could so no Melbourne players could peel off their direct opponent and help out a very undersized Jaden Hunt.
Rory Lobb, 15 disposals, 3 goals, number 1 ranked player on the ground. Those numbers all season highs for him.
Has to be a breakout game, and he's in the middle here for McDonald's and Ream hot water against Gawn. He wins the tap. Dunstan, though, will be the beneficiary. He handballs on his knees, missed Gawn on the turnover now. Akers shrugs a tackle, steps through the gate. A high one inside 50. Tabner box seat, 1-2, couldn't quite. Front and centre, though. And take it to the turf. Caught too high was Jimmy Jordan. A free kick against Logue. They can settle things in defence, the Demons. He squirts it wide. finds Lever.
7:9:51 the Demons. Dockers 5:7:37. 15 minutes gone in this third quarter. Gawn playing out in front that time. Outmarks lob, side wing.
Just watching Tabernar get up really gingerly from that big contest inside forward 50, clutching Eddie's back and waving to the bench. So not good signs for the Dockers.
It's Cox spent a long time over that footy. Opens the door for the Demons. Bowie in the forward pocket. Spargo, my apologies. And his handball chopped down by Clark. Lets him know all about it too. Throw in 45 metres around from the Demons' goal as they kick to the city end in this third quarter. They lead it by 14 points.
The under umpire set. It spins back in. Big Ben Brown against Lob. Lob wins the tap to the front. Walker there, harassed by Pickett. And they can't keep it in. Yes, they do. Pearce did well. Got around Pickett somehow. And then he gets it outside 50. Oh, clever little touch from Schultz for Mundy. Spears one down the line. Finds Logue, true centre wing, far side. He decides to hold it up and then a lateral kick inboard finds Brayshaw. In front of the Shane Warne stand on the southern side. He decides to go for the switch now. Walker on defensive 50. Completes it. Cox. All on his Pat Malone. No one coming at him. Decides to fan it wide and finds Akers.
He has to stop and prop and wait. There's Chapman. They chip Fremantle. Next link in the chain is Young. Right next to the interchange bench. They trail by 25 points at half-time, Fremantle. They've got it back to a 14-point deficit. Drives to the top of 50. Low, good fly, no mark paid. Lob alongside him. His handball couldn't find a target. Now Sparrow on defensive 50. Gives off to Rivers as he hugs the boundary line. Young in front spot. Takes an excellent mark.
Bites off an audacious ball to Collier. All on his lonesome 70 from home in the corridor. Sends it to the top of the square. Tabner got a spoil. Front and centre. Frederick snaps. And puts it across the face. Minor score. 5-8-38 the Dockers. Nam 7-9-51. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Sporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradies job easier.
And Freo have gone with the three talls. We mentioned it at the start of the game, and I've been really impressed with how the three of them have kept moving throughout the game. Not one of them has stood deep and just wanted it called on their head. So Lob, Tabernar and Logue have all been on the move, all leading up at the kicker and getting outside 50 to try and isolate the deepest one.
Pearce sends them back in. Kicks to a pack. Tabernar gave a push. Might have got away with that one. Ball ricochets out the back. Hunt, last line of defence. Had his handball stolen. Schultz snatches it. Turns around and goals. They won't go away, the Dockers. 6-8-44. Nam 7-9-51. 18 minutes gone on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, fantastic work from the Dockers again. It feels like their pressure's really lifted in this quarter. Their ability to get repeat entries and set up behind the ball, but also march the ball down the ground against the D's has been fantastic, making the most of their opportunity on this occasion. A really nice piece of play. Heads up play by Schultz. A dead set pickpocket left foot. Nah. Baby gave it up.
Bob Jones teammates Robbo. Tabner's just come off the ground.
He has, and he's in real strife. They worked on his lower back at half-time in the rooms, and I noticed in the second quarter he was down here having work on that lower back as well. Into the rooms again, Doctor and the physio taking him in. He's in. He can't even leap off the ground, so lower back problems for him for a tall forward's not good.
Well, Daisy Thomas, some of your finest work, but my man Rory Lobb laid that tackle. That's your key forward who's having a huge match, getting up and down the ground, playing a little bit of ruck work as well, laying a forward 50 tackle to then cause Jaden Hunt to cuff it up.
Brodie with a centre clearance for the Dockers, flying hard at it was Logue off his chest, and then they'll butter up the Demons. Angus Brayshaw snaps back outside 50, the big one-on-one with Tucker and Melksham, and through the hands out of bounds, left half forward for the Dockers. They've kicked 4-1 in this third term. We're about to tick into time on, and they only trail by the 7 points. As the ball spins back in, the big men go to work. Darcy to the front. Brodie, oh, beautiful roving. Handball's inboard for Frederick. Had his head ripped off, and the umpire gives him a free. Might be just beyond him here. As he wheels back, he's going to have to hit it every bit of 54, 55 metres. A bit of movement inside 50. Pointing to the sky, he sells some candy, runs to 45. It'll bring the house down. Frederick kicks the goal. And we're back to 1 point here at the Triple MCG. The Dockers 7-8-50. The Demons 7-9-51. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, that was a fantastic goal from Frederick. I don't know if he always had that as the plan, but as soon as he played on, he saw the man on the mark completely overcommit. So he just sold the candy, waltzed around him, and then a beautiful finish on the run, steadied nicely. What a fantastic goal. And not only have they got back within a point, but a goal like that really lifts the entire team.
Just great heads-up play, wasn't it? Knew he was beyond his range, made something out of nothing. And the good news for the Dockers is it's back in the centre square. Clearances from the centre square this quarter, please, Heath.
Yeah, 6-0 Fremantle's way. Completely flipped on the second term.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, a 1 point game. The Dockers were challenged by their coach after last week, and they are answering in this third quarter. Here's Frederick on the lead at centre half forward. Couldn't mark, but brought it down to ground level. Chipping kick is okay for Darcy. He marks 40 metres out, directly in front, to put the Dockers in the lead.
Well, another clearance and another involvement for Frederick as well. Just a high-hacked ball out wide. Interesting, the D still trying to take some proactive positioning. You'd be thinking with the experience, maybe this is a factor of May not being out there, just not locking down. Frederick had all the space in the world to go into that, and really good work rate from Darcy pushing forward from the centre clearance.
Last year's best and fairest winner to put them in front. It's been a huge fight back from the Dockers. 8-8-56 to 7-9-51. 22 minutes gone in the third quarter. Fremantle take the lead at the Triple MCG.
Well, we said in the second term how good Melbourne were as soon as they were challenged or looked like being challenged in that first quarter. Second quarter, they came out and pretty much blew Freo off the track, but Freo at halftime have regrouped and have really come out swinging, especially in that midfield. They were down a lot in centre clearances and scores from stoppage, and they've put a lot of pride to the side and come out and really challenged Melbourne in that area of the ground. So now it's over to Melbourne. How do they respond?
Red Z lending stats. Since Melbourne's last goal, Fremantle 8 inside 50s to 1, 4 goals in a row. In that time, Oliver, Petrarca, Brown, Weedham and Viney all statless.
That's all on the Triple M Red Zeds. Some fine Red Zeds. Ethan Meldrum as we're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. The ball down. Jackson shakes the tag. Scrambles a right foot ball inside 50. Good little paw in there from Cox. Got it out to Chapman, taken to the turf. Oh, the umpire falls over backwards in the process. They just keep it inside the boundary. Cox, happy to see it over with some pressure from Spargo. Taberner still in the hands of the trainer on the boundary there. It's the Dockers leading by 5 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've still got 6.5 left in this third term.
All the momentum with the visitors right now. Spargo kicks a high up and under ball just inside 50. Pearce dropped it. Quick snap from Petrarca. Vacant goal square, bounces across the face. And out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Robbo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Hey, Daisy, big news. Stephen May out next week with concussion. They'll review that, but Buddy Franklin out for a week. He's not playing against the D's next week. The Cochin little slap across the mouth has cost him a week. Centre half forward, Sydney Cricket Ground. So Buddy Franklin out of next week.
Darcy brought to ground by Petrarca.
Well,
they'll appeal that, surely.
If they didn't, they'd be absolutely crazy unless he somehow got injured, but he didn't look like it. They'll appeal that he's ridiculous.
Throw up 15 metres away from goal. Mundy lost it. Viney couldn't find it on the way back. Brodie kicks out a defensive 50.
Jackson in a one-on-one. Oh, well done. Logue juggled it with the one hand. Takes the mark at left half back. He just swings onto the left boot now. A high one down the line. Lever box seat. He floated in from the side, uncontested. Checks the kick. Steps around Schultz, and then a left foot ball down the line. He's turned it over. Walker Been impressive on his return today. What are his numbers so far, Heath, on the Triple M Reds?
Brandon Walker, 11 disposals, but going at 67% by foot, 5 marks as well.
Goes back to Luke Ryan at centre-half back, and the Dockers start to explore the Shane Warne stand side here at the Triple MCG. Chapman on the lead for Frederick, who's had a big role in this third quarter. Chapman followed up. That handball was good over the back to Tucker. At half forward, spears it in for Brody. No mark taken. Fist on from the Demons was important. Viney off to Oliver. Now they start to get something through the corridor. Dunstan has a fumble. Gave it to Sparrow. Now they'll get access, the direct route. Viney chips over the top. Great kick into space. Just needs to sit for Petrarca, and he can't finish. Chance goes begging for Nam. 7-10 to 8-8. Dockers by 4 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Just having a look out there, it looks like it's Aish who's doing the run with roll on Oliver. So doing a fantastic job. Oliver instrumental in that first half. Hasn't been sighted in this third term. So well done to Aish and the Freo coaches box making the move, moving the magnet.
Cox at left half back. A searching ball down the line. Ball off hands. Darcy an important paw. Then the tackle there was good by Sparrow on lob. Ball up, broadcast wing, neutral territory. Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy in the back row for Seabus Super, making hard work pay off as Oliver sharks it. Cut off by Brody though. Handball for Race. Just feigns the handball. And then a right foot ball to a big one-on-one. Logue just got held off it by Wiedemann. Getting back Bowie. Goes toe-to-toe with Frederick. Frederick kept his feet. Lays the tackle on Rivers. Ferocious stuff by Michael Frederick. And carries him across the line. Left forward pocket for the Dockers. Punt road end. 26 and a half minutes gone third term. The Dockers lead by 4.
Well, Michael Frederick take a bow. He just outplayed. He was outnumbered by 2-1 and just worked his butt off to get over to Jake Bowie, put pressure on him and then clean up the other Melbourne player and play the tackle as well. That's what you want from your small forward.
Brody off the back of the stoppage, handball to Walters. He was closed down from defensive 50. Bowie kicks up and under. Pearce tracks it to the boundary line and juggles it over. It'll be thrown in. You saw all of that action on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Get your next phone your way. Best brands at the best prices. Come in store today, Days, and speak to our mobile expert.
Hey, Robbo, has Tabernar gone back on the ground?
He has. He's just going to be in the square, so it's not a bad matchup. Petty's hobbling. He's grabbing his lower back, so just perched in the goal square, both of them.
Brody high up and under inside 50. Logue to the front. Out the back, Darcy. Couldn't get boot to ball, and then he was collected head high. Umpire lets it play. And now the snap from Walters. Oh, yes! Insatiable stuff from the Dockers. They've kicked their 7th for the term. And they lead 9-8-62. The D's 7-10-52. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, how good. It was the D's in the first term that were making the most of their opportunities. Fremantle squandering a lot of theirs, but in this term we saw Christian Petrarca with a similar shot up the other end, not able to finish. Sonny Walters, give him an inch, he'll take a mile. How good was that left foot banana? Just the pressure, and again, the Frederick tackle you spoke about, Kate, on the back of those repeat entries. Take a bow, Fremantle. They've bought the heat and they're making the most of their opportunities.
Red Z leading stats, Michael Walters, he's worked hard for that one. Just looking at the pressure acts, he's laid 12 for the quarter, next best on the ground, 5. So he's worked real hard for that one, Mickey Walters.
And it's all come from pressure for Fremantle. They're not giving Melbourne an inch. They are just making this a real contested game of football and laying any tackle or putting any pressure on that they can.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Demon streak is in danger right now. Sarong, slick hands through the middle. Aish gave it off to Clark, who runs away from Gawn. Looks for a target inside 50. Darcy couldn't hang on. Bowie can repel. Has got options on the way out. One of them, Rivers. He looks wide and finds Neil Bullen.
Don't forget to score yourself an absolute Macca's legend, the McChicken. Order via McDelivery today. McDelivery is available in selected locations as Neil Bullen. Right foot ball to a big pack, going back with the flight Gawn. Oliver did well around his body, put to space for Pickett. One-on-one with Walker, did well. Walker kept his feet. He tried to step around, handballs to Chapman, in trouble. Well done, Cozzy Pickett. Talk about pressure acts. He doubled back the little man and he'll get the free kick 60 from home.
Sensing the occasion, wasn't it? He was the man, willed himself on the contest twice, was beaten once, and good enough to get back on and apply the tackle.
He loads up to the square, lob there, couldn't take the mark. Pearce falling over. Now Ace trying to extract the pill. He's claimed though. And no prior opportunity. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Just under 2 minutes left in this third term. The Dockers lead by 10.
Pack of players around this footy. Jackson tapped down to Petrarca. He has a fumble. 30 out from the Demons goal. Young driving through for the Dockers. Ace got a foot on it to defensive 50. Good tackle by Frederick. Locks up Rivers. Umpire calls for it at centre half forward.
Just got to reset the field here, the Dockers. Levers +1 behind the footy. Now Petty is as well. So Lob's the one just dwindling back to full forward. He needs to be quicker in resetting. Otherwise, if Freo do win it, it will be coming back.
Mundy from centre half back. Chips out into space, but only as far as Bowie.
Handball's inboard for Rivers. That wasn't the option. Frederick did well. Smothered off the boot. He scrambles it forward, but only as far as Petty. Gave it to Brayshaw under pressure. Good tackle by Schultz. Now on the turnover. Lowe gets it out to Walters, who lowers the eyes. Misses Collier. Well done, Frederick. The back pedal to Schultz, who steps from 30 and kicks the goal. Their 8th goal for the term, the Dockers. They're on absolute fire. They're 10-8-68. The Demons 7-10-52 in Sir Doug Nicholls' round at the Triple MCG.
Well, we saw a nomination for Goal of the Year with Michael Frederick dancing around the man on the mark, but that would be well and truly the assist of the year. He's running towards goal, had every right to try and take possession and maybe kick one himself, but he's known that Schultz is behind him. Bowie was just playing for Frederick. He flicked the ball back inside to Schultz. Easy snap around the body with no pressure on, but Freo are here and they're playing for this victory over Melbourne.
That was phenomenal, that tap. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Demons need the three-quarter time siren. A minute remaining. They've given up 8 goals for the quarter and have watched their halftime lead disintegrate. Time for Fremantle. Walters handballs to Mundy. 45 metres out, open goal. Blazes it across the face for a behind.
Just might need a quick check-in on Heath. You going all right, Heath?
Yeah, doing all right. Still a quarter to go.
It's been very quiet.
Very, very quiet. Not so chipper. I'm still trying to come to terms with that knockback from Frederick. Just the nous and the heads-up play, the ability just to know what was happening and be a step ahead of the game. Unbelievable stuff that was.
Rivers drives it to the outer side, but it's going to come back in the hands of Chapman. Frederick competes well. Front and centre, Walters. He had Collier there, couldn't find him. And now Brayshaw back out to the outer wing. Pickett drops the chest mark, slaps it towards Gawn. He gets back to his feet, Cozzy as always. And he just shakes off the tag there from Walker. Wheels onto the right boot down the line. Jackson and Pearce. Jackson copped him high. Sorry, Pearce copped Jackson high. And Jackson will get the free kick just to the attacking side of the outer wing. As precious seconds tick away in this third term. They've kicked the last 6 goals, the Dockers. They've kicked 8 goals in this third term as Pickett drives it long inside 50, but the siren's going to beat Melbourne. Three-quarter time here at the MCG. A phenomenal quarter here by the Dockers. All called by Jack Heverin, Daisy Thomas, Kate McCarthy, Ethan Meldrum, Mickey Roberts, Timmy Solly. We've got a game on our hands. Saturday night footy. It's the Dockers leading by 17 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks footy.
score yourself an absolute Macca's legend, the McChicken. Order via McDelivery today. McDelivery is available in select locations.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
From Ben. Hi Marty, finally got to see your stand-up show. I was wondering if you do any corporate events.
No.
We have a Christmas party at Crown on the 10th of December. I said I would pitch it.
I won't do you dirty little corporate event.
Why would you bring that up?
Remember the woman that wanted me to do a show for her and 8 of her mates
in the hotel
in a
room?
suite at Crown?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you think I am, a stripper? Like Magic Marty's on tonight.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. When it comes to tyres and wheels, Bob Jane T-Marts looks after you in more ways than one. Buy 3, get 1 free, and up to $100 instant cashback on a great selection of top tyre brands including Bridgestone, Yokohama, Dunlop, Michelin, Goodyear and J-Trax. Buy 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Oztrack camper trailer, plus over 2Ks of extras from HEMA and GME. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
It's the golf event you shouldn't miss. The Drummond Golf Mid-Year Sale. Save over $300 on Cougar Power Cat 12-piece set with bag, now $498. Save $31 on TaylorMade Select Cart Bag, only $168. Golf Buddy L10V Voice Rangefinder, just $338. Save $111. And Callaway Warbird Golf Balls 12-pack, only $16.95. Hurry, the Drummond Golf Mid-Year Sale ends soon.
Brandt, your local John Deere dealer, proudly stocking the full range of John Deere agriculture, turf and golf equipment. And now a range of John Deere compact construction equipment. Get out there and get the job done, no matter what you're working on. Visit us today to demo the range.
Sort yourself out with a Best Sheds shed during Best Sheds' massive end of financial year sale and take 10% off the asking price. That's 10% off one of Best Sheds' Aussie-made sheds backed by a 20-year warranty. Hurry, head to bestsheds.com.au.
It's value the Australian way at Coles, with a great everyday price on Sanitarium Wheat Bix. A 1.2 kilo pack is still just $5 every day. That's right, just $5 for a 1.2 kilo pack of Wheat Bix. Only at Coles.
If you don't take care of your employees at work and make sure they can return home safe every day, your criminal negligence could see you face up to 25 years in jail. Workplace manslaughter is now a jailable offence. We're enforcing tougher laws to create safer workplaces. A message from WorkSafe Victoria.
It's here. The new Samsung Galaxy S22 series now at Optus. Capture everything from sunrise to nightfall with an all-new camera and all-day battery life. All on our super-fast 5G network. And with our 5G phone price match guarantee, you can be sure you're getting the best price, guaranteed. Visit Optus in-store or online for details. Great value starts with yes. T's and C's apply. 5G available in selected areas and on select plans. See website for offer and coverage details.
What the truck? New Furphy Crisp Lager is now available. An unbelievably easy drinking beer perfect for cracking open with mates, anytime, anywhere. While you sit back and tell a couple of Furphies of your own. Unbelievable.
Shut up! The footy's on
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
A stunning third quarter from the Fremantle Dockers, 8 goals to 1, and they lead over the Demons at three-quarter time by 17 points, 10-9-69 to 7-10-52. Kate McCarthy, Daisy Thomas, Ethan Meldrum, Jack Heverin, Tim Solly, and this man on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts, Robbo.
Yeah, Simon Goodwin cracking in now to the main group. 8 goals kicked against the Demons, undefeated, and first time probably this year he's had the opportunity to give them a spray at three-quarter time. Big news as well, Fremantle, Bailey Banfield takes the field because Tabernar is out with a lower back problem. He went back on the ground, still in pain. They ripped him off. Coming into this game, he had hamstring problems, so it could be lower back related with the hamstrings, everything tightening up. So Banfield on to test himself in this last term.
And Bob Jane T-Marts buy a set of 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Oztrack Telegraph X camper trailer. What did we witness in that third quarter? Give us the numbers that matter, Heath, for Reds Ed.
Melbourne, most points they've conceded in the third quarter in 6 years. Most points Fremantle have scored in a third quarter in 10 years, that being 8 goals too. That's more points than Melbourne have conceded on average in the game in their last 3 weeks, averaging 49 points per game against. Leading ball winners on the ground. Andy Brayshaw, 8 touches in the term, up to 23. Brody, 22. Clayton Ola leading the way for the D's with 31.
I think that substitution that Robbo just touched on will be a big one, actually. Tabernar, they've had the 3 forwards down there, the 3 of them going hard at it. So Tabernar, Lobb and Logue. And they've taken a number of marks. So contested marks are 15-4 in favour of Fremantle. Also 90 marks to 51. So not having that extra tall down there could really cost them and really disrupt their setup in their forward 50.
He does play quite big though, Banfield, so he will lead out. He is the 190 centimetres, so he's not a traditional small or traditional tall, but he does play quite big, will lead up, will take a juke.
What have the champs got for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water? They'll get the first centre clearance here. Left foot ball up to the 50. The spoil came from Ryan. Front and centre Neil Bullen. Steps back through the traffic. Sends it to the top of the square. Fritsch, was he handled? No. Young. Handballs for Cox. Hard up on the boundary. He just nurses the ball down the line. Brayshaw had to sit and wait. Good spoil came there from Sparrow. He's accosted by Akers. And the umpire says, holding the ball.
Big call, Tim. Also, Petrarca's gone forward as well, so a magnet move from the D's trying to generate something in the forward 50.
So Akers back inside defensive 50 to Young. And they change direction all the way to the outer side underneath the Shane Warne stand at the Triple MCG. Next link in the chain, Luke Ryan. He's got his chin heavily bandaged, copped a knock in that third quarter. Goes wider again. They hold things up. Alex Pearce. 10-9-69 to 7-10-52.
Move it on. Play on.
All Fremantle in this third term, but can they keep that flow going in the last? Logan's target up the line. Off the pack, Sarong. His kick was smothered. That's out of bounds in front of Collier and Oliver, outer side wing.
Well played there by the Dockers. You can see they're trying to slow it down to start this fourth term, but unlike in the second term, everyone was on the same page. They knew they were going long down the line, so they were able to really generate a stoppage or contest around that long down the line and then just work the ball over to get some field position.
Darcy down. Clark from a standing start up to the 50. There's been a whistle. And it's going to go the way of the Dockers. So free kick to Logue. He's within striking range.
Griffin.
He's on the outer side. He's going to have to hit this every bit of 51-52. About 3 metres in from the boundary. And this to put the margin out to 23 points and the dream start for this final term. A picture of concentration. He spins the ball in his hands. A slow, steady, deliberate approach. Strikes it from right on the perimeter. It's going to go across the face and gone. Uncontested, Parks underneath.
Spargo in the back pocket. Looks short. Inboard to Bowie. His numbers today, Heath, for Red Z Lending. Jake Bowie.
Jake Bowie, that's disposal number 19 for him. 6 marks as well.
Brayshaw. That's Angus. Marks from half back. Dangerous kick inboard. Neil Bullen couldn't mark. Nice pick up off his ankles by Darcy. Now Ryan lays it off. Jordan Clark looks out wide and Schultz has snuck out the back on his own. Marks 47 out from goal.
This is where he needs to think his way through it. So if he knows he's on his range here, I'd love to see a pull kick. We've got Max Gawn at the top of the square waiting for it. So can Fremantle come up with something? The worst result here is a long ball to the goal line that Melbourne easily fist through.
Kicked 2 goals in the third quarter. This is going to test him. It's a wobbler towards goal. And Max Gawn smashes that into the stands. Out of bounds for a throw-in in the forward pocket.
Yeah, and if he'd moved that on a little bit quicker, he had Rory Lobb, who had a pocket of space that he'd generated. Freo had freed it up really well, and he was pointing and wanted it there to his advantage, but Schultz just took way too long and then took it back and ended up chipping it to the top of the square. Exactly what you said he shouldn't do.
Tap down Darcy. Sarong, right foot ball. It's not going to get the journey. And the spoil through. He roved it off the pack, little Sarong. The tap down from Darcy. He couldn't quite get the journey. Another behind here for the Dockers, 10-10-70, leading the D's 7-10-52. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
It's pumped out of defence. Gawn standing next to Brown. They spoiled each other. No mark paid. Now ball up. Neil Bullen brings Clark to the ground. We don't say this often, Daisy. What do Melbourne need to do here?
Well, it's interesting. They've got to get their hands on the footy in close and from the contest and then try and get some field position. We know in that second quarter they were dominant from clearance and stoppage, and then once they got the ball inside forward 50, they locked it in. Fremantle had no answers to get it out. So some territory would be nice, but getting their hands on the footy is where it's going to have to start.
Triple M Bus Super Special comments. Daisy Thomas and Kate McCarthy. It's Tom Sparrow. Marks the outlet kick. Right near the interchange bench. Goes back to half-back and Brayshaw.
Bites off a ball into the spine. Finds Hunt. Defensive side of the circle. He looks out to the open side. Decides to attack through the corridor. He's got Cozzy at centre-half forward. He looks up now, Pickett. And he'll send the kick into the pocket. Going back. Big fly! Spargo! He was running back with the flight. Got some serious hang time. And he'll go back for a set shot from 45.
Unbelievable grab going with the flight. Elevated himself, went early. Think of like a reverse Moorcroft. Coming the other way, but the same end result.
So to put the icing on the cake, a hop and a skip. Sets sail from 45 and hits the post. Couldn't finish his work there, Charlie Spargo. They're 7-11-53. The Dockers 10-10-70. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Just the way that he was able to get his legs in front of his body while he was running back with the flight of the footy to then protect himself. You don't see many players be able to go back with the flight, but then get their legs in front of their chest where they take the mark. Well done.
Wiedemann marks on the wing for Melbourne, drives forward. Brown has been a non-factor today. Cox has done a good job on him. Kept him out of the way, and that was an easy mark in the end for Darcy. Uses Ryan, and they construct to the outer side. It's a good kick into space too for Collier.
Left half back, just nurses a floaty ball down the line. Walker, neutral territory on the outer side. Just starts to poke a little kick forward for Walters. His work rate's been enormous in this second half. Decides to hold it up and let his teammates leak forward, and then chisels one back on the 45 to Ryan. Toyota logo on the outer side. Interesting tape get up around his head. He comes back out wide again. Finds Walters hard up on the boundary. True centre wing far side. He just points ahead and then winds up. A high long ball's ugly off the boot, and he's put it out on the full. Demons will reload from half back.
Just another move the Melbourne coaches box have made. That's Wiedemann's gone to full back on Rory Lobb. So like for like in terms of athleticism and size. You'd imagine, though, the experience of Lobb in the forward line compared to Wiedemann in the back line may have that in his advantage.
Can't think of too many times we would have seen Sam Wiedemann play in that position. It's Pickett. Marks on the wing for Nam. They trail by 17 points. 8 minutes played in the final term. Kicks to half forward. Marks dropped by Young. Ryan there to clean it up. Links up with Jordan Clark. Now there's an option on in the corridor if he's good enough, and finds it. Nice courage showed by Walker to go back with the flight and take a good mark.
Just grabbed his right hamstring briefly, but he looks okay as he goes lateral out to the right back flank. Akers. Not the best kick, but this is a exception to the rule as he finds Frederick in front of the interchange gates. 8 minutes gone, final term. They lead by 17, the Dockers, as Frederick winds up. A long driving ball to the 50. The pack forms, and Big Max stands tall right on defensive 50.
You said Days Banfield doesn't play as a small, doesn't play as quite a tall, but he needs to compete better than that if Max Gawn's going to float back into those. He just stood, didn't even really leave the ground either and try and make a contest there. That was an easy mark for Max Gawn.
If you have just joined us, Matt Taberner subbed out of the game at three-quarter time for the Dockers. So they're one short in their forward half. Stephen May subbed out of the game in the first quarter for the Demons.
And what Fremantle are doing here, although they've been able and lost a little bit of territory on this occasion, they're making Melbourne defend these short kicks, which is obviously chewing up some of their petrol tickets for when they do have the ball on offence.
Chapman stops and props. He's told to play on now. Now they have to drive a little longer up the line. Gawn and Darcy compete. Gawn fists it towards the boundary line. Hunt can't keep it in. 9.5 minutes gone in the final quarter. It's the Dockers who lead by 17 points on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
After he spiked that one, Maxie, he immediately turned back to his players, said, come in, let's get around this stoppage. He's busy as he goes to work again, taps to the front. Brodie there. Shovels it out well to Clark. Goes boundary side to Mundy. He tight ropes the boundary. And now a right football up to the 50. Walters back with the flight. Umpire doesn't pay it. Lob. Lays the tackle on Hunt. Had time to get rid of it. Umpire pays the benefit of the doubt. Ball up on the attacking 50 here for the Dockers. Right to your radio dial. City end of the MCG. 10 minutes gone in this final term. The Dockers lead by 17 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
It's been more than half an hour since Melbourne kicked a goal. Not often we say that. Brayshaw. That's Andrew. Flips it back. Schultz loads up, kicks to a dangerous area. Akers flying in from the side. Couldn't mark. Hunt and Collie are now wrestling for it. 35 out from the Dockers goal.
I think I'd be getting a message out to Schultz. That's probably not the space you want to kick the ball. That's really trampoline zone for Melbourne to go straight through the corridor and back down the other end. Keep it a little bit more corridor when you've got the lead.
Nice tackle there by Jackson on Aish. We'll do it all again. Still to come, West Coast and the Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium as soon as we finish up here.
Clever tap from Lob. Walters around his body, a high up and under, big one-on-one in the square. Low couldn't quite. Banfield, the medi sub, took on the tackle, gets it out to Frederick, snaps on the right. He's got his second. They get the first of the final term, the Dockers, at the 11-minute mark, and they extend their lead out to 23 points on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, you've got to love what you're seeing from Fremantle at the minute. On that occasion there, the ball up was inside their own forward 50. Usually you'd see the manufacturer +1 behind the ball. Melbourne sending extra numbers in to try and run and gun from it. But Fremantle being bold. They're backing in the 4 players they had behind the ball in the one-on-ones. They sent extra numbers in so Melbourne didn't have an advantage. And from there, they're fighting, they're scrapping, they're winning all the crucial contests. And this man has been unbelievable tonight, doing some special things but getting some real reward for effort for all the defensive efforts he's made on this evening's game.
And they're just playing this fourth quarter perfectly, just getting territory, taking some time off the clock, not taking any real risks apart from that kick back through the middle from Schultz, but they've had numbers around the footy and been able to generate contest to contest.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Jackson drives out of the middle. Brennan Cox has been excellent down back. Chimes in and takes the mark. Heath, Red Z Lenders, just remind everyone, how many games in a row have Melbourne won?
Oh, don't make me do that, Chuck.
Take your scarf off for a minute and tell us how many they've won in a row.
Taking off my 18-0 t-shirt. 17 wins in a row. Their last loss, round 19, 2021 against the Western Bulldogs here at this very venue, 308 days ago.
Fredericks out the back at half forward, darting around. He wasn't sure what to do in the end. Flips a handball over the top. An extra one for Griffin Logue from half forward. Schultz is in the goal square. It falls out the back. He's going to walk it into an open goal. Another one for Fremantle. And they might slay the beast on their home deck. 12-10-82 to 7-11-53. The heavyweight champs are just about out.
Well, we said Rory Lobb. Well, I said Rory Lobb was probably the best player on the ground at three-quarter time, but Frederick is not taking that lying down. He has been phenomenal in the last half of football, just working so hard to get out, to get free of his man, to then create overlap run, and that's what generated that inside 50, and it was Schultz that played it really well. He saw the big men go up for the fly, was going to fly, ended up staying down as he knew they needed some representation at ground level, and the ball just fell into his lap, and what a fantastic finish.
Michael Frederick, Red Z Lending Stats, number 1 ranked player on the ground this half, 2 goals, but 11 score involvements from 16 disposals, both career highs.
Warning against Melbourne. Okay, going to throw the ball up.
The thing that Fremantle are doing different in this quarter is they're controlling the ball, yes, but they're also taking territory and being able to draft field position and being able to draft goals. Fantastic learnings from what they couldn't do in that second term where Melbourne dominated them.
They've kicked the last 8 goals, the Fremantle Footy Club. They've kicked 10 of the last 11. And they lead here by 29 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Melbourne under siege. Bowie, the handball out wide for Viney. Opts for the soccer off the deck, gains about 40. And the man in game 200 takes it right on the perimeter, Melksham. Jake the Snake.
Catch him up.
If there was a moment they needed him, it was right now.
Stand.
The Premiers trail by 29. And the man in his milestone game will have to hit this one 51 metres from hard up on the boundary. A slow, deliberate approach. A great look at this one from the box. He hits it from 51. It's going to go right to the line across the face. And Lobb kills it through for a minor score. There's 7-12-54 the D's. The Dockers 12-10-82. 15 gone, final term. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, they simply have to be the next to score the D's. They have to find a way to get the ball off the Dockers. Obviously up their end at the minute, so a good setup, pin them in, get a repeat entry, have to be next to kick a goal.
Robbo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Can you hear it? Complete silence down here. Seriously, they have shelled up the Melbourne supporters. No come-on premiers anymore, I've noticed. I'm just hearing a little Freo chant as well. So just to mix it up.
That's a big moment, though, there. Petrarca coming across, putting a big smother on, locking the ball inside forward 50 now. Maxi gone there in the ruck now, so look for a set play maybe, and Oliver wrapping around or Petrarca.
Little drive-by from Robbo. Didn't go unnoticed either. Sarong read that stoppage well. Handball's back, but it's safe. You slap it out of defence by Ryan. Into the middle of the Triple MCG. Off hands, Tucker couldn't gather cleanly. Schultz has had a good second half. Goes back to Brayshaw from half back. Wiedemann will be there first for the D's.
In front of the interchange gate, he bites off the ball. They're going to turn it over here. Banfield, handballs to Schultz. Neutral territory broadcast wing. Just sends it out into grass, and Collier on a searching lead takes it 46 from home. 60-degree angle. With 8.5 minutes left on the clock, he's just going to go back and milk some seconds. And we've got about 30 players inside 50 now for Fremantle. He's on the runway. Collier winds up, hits it from right on the arc. He's hit that like a peach. He's got it. High fives all around for Collier. And the margin out to 34 points here at the Triple MCG. They've got all the answers, Fremantle.
One thing they've been able to do really well, especially in the last 5 minutes of play, is just use that uncontested possession that they're getting around the contest. That time it was a handball that was sideways to Schultz. A couple of times down here on the broadcast side, they've handballed it backwards to be able to find a free player, and they're happy to just find the free player with hands and then generate some forward momentum.
Really drawing that Melbourne defence out, aren't they? Their ability to go backwards to then go forward. So quite often the man who gives it gets pressed past by a Demons player, and he's then involved in that second passage of play. Just looking around the Triple MCG, am I seeing a few red and blue scarves just making their way the aisles? Oh boy.
There's a few Volvos that are about to leave this ground a little earlier than normal. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. It's good for us. We'll get out a little earlier too then in that case. Sarong gives it to Darcy. His kick partially smothered. Up and under kick. Collier. It's going to be paid the mark. Thought it might have been touched. He's told to play on. Waste no time. Sends it long. Lob with 3 to beat. It's whacked away by Lever, but not cleared yet. Jordan uses Jaden Hunt on the way out of defensive 50. Viney step back into traffic. Gave it to Jordan. He kicks hurriedly on the left foot. No intended target. And there's Brennan Cox.
Don't forget, Bill, tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a ream. It's Cox, broadcast wing. A long searching kick inside 50. The big ride lob. Couldn't quite. Oliver, front and centre. Got it out to Bowie. Slung 360. Got it to Jordan. Back to Oliver. A left foot high ball outside 50. The spore from Cox. Aish at the spill. Brody, handballs boundary side for Sarong, sends it to the top of the square, and Brayshaw for the Demons. Saving the day on the last line. 19 gone, final term. They lead by 34 points, the Dockers. As Brayshaw drives one back outside 50. The two big men. They work under the footy. Numbers here with the D's. Out the back, Viney. Arches the back. Takes a bounce. Tumbles one end on end. He was decked after the kick. Nothing coming from the umpire. Walker had it stripped. Good tackle, Cozzy Pickett. Free kick in front of the interchange gate.
Look, right in front of Robbo too for Bob Jane T-Marts. Jack Viney and
Yeah, that's lovely, that. That's a nice little scrap, especially with Viney in it. Hey, Walters is the other one, right hamstring, plenty of heat on that. They might put him on ice in this last little bit. Doctors and physio are giving him a fitness test, so Walters tossing up to see whether he comes back on. 29,812 at the G.
Robbo wants to bring back the biff. A tick under 30,000. They're going to see the Demons lose for the first time in a long time. Left foot snap from Jordan. I think we're going to have a score review. Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
I believe it's a touch behind. Can we please check that it was touched at the kick and also on the goal line?
Okay. Score review. Umpire's call is
Touched
one behind.
off the
Can
boot
you please check
or
that it was
touched on the
at
goal
kick?
line. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Get your next phone your way. Best brands at the best
Review
prices.
underway.
Come in store today and speak to our mobile experts.
I think Harvey Norman replay is showing that it was both. There's a touch from Brennan Cox off the boot, and then it was also touched on the goal line.
Looking at this angle, we can see the ball makes contact with the Freo defender's left hand. Decision on scoreboard.
So a minor score. He's got good eyes, that goal umpire. He's called that touched off the boot from about 35 metres away.
Yep. If you're doing your job, just your own job, though, you just worry about the one that was touched on the goal line. Call the point and move on. Anywho, well done. Better to be thorough.
Some of the red ZZ, just to break things up for us.
I was just looking at Christian Petrarca's last 39 games in a row. He's cleared 20 disposals. Only the 10 so far today, statless in this fourth quarter.
Red Z Lending, loans to the self-employed, is gone, gets the free kick against Darcy. Left half forward for Nam. They're going to have to play really seamless footy from here as it goes inside footy. 50, Walker, Aish, Clark, off a couple of steps, gets out the 8-iron, underneath Schultz, Courageous, and then Darcy just belts it out of bounds, left half forward for the Demons. 5.5 left in this one. It's just been a dominating second half from the Fremantle Footy Club. They trail by 25 at half time, and they're leading here by 33 points as Oliver goes wide. Brody off his shins and can't keep it in the field of play out of Brownton's broadcast wing.
Big for Fremantle today, Days. They've lost 5 of their last 6 here at the Triple MCG. If you want to be anything at the back end of the year, you've got to win here.
Absolutely, and you've got to beat the best. And with 5 minutes on the clock, it looks like they're going to do that.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The kick is out of bounds on the full.
On the line. Foot on the line. Foot on the
It'll be a Melbourne free kick. They'll play Sydney next week at home. And for Fremantle, another big test for them. They'll host the Brisbane Lions next weekend. Gorn the marking target on 50. Ball gets out the back. Chapman steady, resolute in defence, as is this man, Alex Pearce. His chipping kick, though, marked by the skipper, Gorn.
Fought hard all day, Max Gawn, as you would expect from him, but just been in some really good spots, taking those intercept marks and really trying to stand up in this fourth term when the chips were down for Melbourne and trying to rally the troops. A number of stoppages down here on this wing. Really tried to get everyone in and win the clearance when he knew that they were important.
23.5 minutes gone. Gone from just outside 50. Decides to lay it off. A couple of Demons called themselves out of it. Pickett trying to crash his way through. Still going. Nice handball off to Viney. Little left foot banana from the top of the goal square and misses.
Absolutely no right foot whatsoever there. Running on that side, elected to go with the left foot check side, which is near on impossible. All your momentum taking you that way. Just steady up, little right foot banana across the body would have been the option.
It's very interesting, someone at AFL level not having a right foot to be able to throw that one on and opting for the left foot check side.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Kate. Kate McCarthy, Daisy Thomas in the back row for Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. As that man Viney has it again on the broadcast wing. He sends it up to the 50, off the hands of Akers. Did well, Jordan, got it out to Brayshaw. He handballs back inboard. Oh, the big man Darcy did well. He attacked it hard, got it to Akers. A handball over the top for Schultz. Now a right football. It's going to set up Banfield. He has to beat a couple. But Lever got some hang time. And then he spits it up to the broadcast wing and turns it over to Walters.
Handball off to Ace. They've stopped running, Melbourne, and Fremantle is still running. Brody has Akers. 50 metres away from goal.
He's a big kick to Akers, so professionally going to go back, regardless if he has the shot or not. This is the time to go back, take your 30 seconds. Even if you have to late, pull a kick and find somebody else who is an inside forward 50.
The MCG has just come under attack from Seagulls. They've all come from nowhere.
Big Freo fans.
We've been invaded. Akers launches. It's not going to be the one. Top of the goal square. Schultz, his fourth. Game over. What a win this is for the Fremantle Footy Club. 6 days ago, they lost in the wet at home, and Justin Longmuir said that they were ahead of themselves. They've answered in the best way possible today.
It's been unbelievable. It's been a pleasure to watch. Not only have they answered, they were down and out at half-time. They were challenged by the champs. They threw everything at them in the first quarter. Melbourne came out in that second quarter and answered everything they had, threw many punches of their own. And they look like they were down for the count, but they've responded. And it's been the fashion in which they have. They've been hard, they've been tough. They've got it done from centre clearance, which is very hard to do against Melbourne. They'll be mighty impressed with themselves. Considering the last 2 weeks as well, they've scored 4 goals and 6 goals. Come out in the third quarter and nearly surpassed that. Fantastic win.
And just the professionalism as well from them in this fourth term to be able to chew down the clock from the start of the quarter as well, to have the, I guess, composure to be able to do that from the start and really chew off the time off the clock and find those uncontested possessions and beat Melbourne at their own game, really. That's what they've done to teams for the last year and a bit to really seal out victories.
Fremantle on the surge again. Brody fires into the pocket. Low, couldn't quite. Petty back to Lever. Now Brayshaw. He's been brilliant for Melbourne tonight, but not enough. Down the line, finds Jordan inside the boundary, and he's had the ball knocked out of his hands by Akers. And there'll be a 50-metre penalty. So this will take Jimmy Jordan to about 60 from home. On the Shane Warne stand side, he loads up, goes into the pocket. Fritsch all on his lonesome. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ground level Neil Bullen. And they all dive on top of him. So we'll have a ball up. Right forward pocket here for Melbourne. Just over 2 minutes left in this one. 4 goals to Schultz. 3 goals to Lobb. And Fremantle, they lead here by 38.
And they're finishing strong. Lockie Schultz marks for the kick coming out of defensive 50. What a game he's had today. Didn't kick a goal in his last 2 games. Has kicked 4 in the second half. Lockie Young. Hayden Young, I should say. Lockie plays for North Melbourne. Goes back with 90 seconds left. Ryan. On the bounce to Chapman. And Mundy fresh off the interchange bench. A reminder, up next, we take you to Optus Stadium. West Coast take on the Western Bulldogs. Tommy Atkinson, Andrew Embley, Xavier Ellis, and one of the best sports broadcasters in the business, Lockie Reed, to take you through that one.
Don't forget the Beast on the stats.
And the Beast, of course. He'll strangle me if I forget him.
And Mundy, hard up on the boundary, right half back. He's just soaking up precious seconds here. We're inside the dying minute of this match in what has been one of the most formidable performances from the Fremantle Football Club. They took on last year's premiers, and they've just got all the answers. They've kicked the last 10 goals. They've kicked 12 of the last 13. And they've just died in this second half, the Demons. They've controlled the tempo of the play. We've seen players stand up, like Heb said. Schultz has kicked 4. Lobb's had one of the games of his life as well as they drive it up to the broadcast wing again. Oliver around his body to half forward. Coming in Clark. The prize recruit, he's playing his role tonight as well.
They'll wind the clock down now, the Dockers. This is an enormous win for them and their season. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And they have by 38 points. Total second half domination. And the Dockers move to third position on the AFL ladder. What a win. Lockie Shields kicked 4 goals for Fremantle. He was a star in the second half. Rory Lobb kicked 3, Michael Frederick kicking a couple, and then singles after that to Collier, Taberner and Darcy for the Demons. 3 goals to Bailey Fritsch, 2 goals to Bedford, and then a single after that to Cozzy Pickett and James Jordan. It was the Demons by 2 points at quarter time, 25 points at half time. Fremantle turned the tables in the third term to lead by 17. But at full time, it's a 38-point lead and a 38-point win to the Dockers.
Unbelievable it was. I don't think anyone saw this coming at half-time, to be completely frank. They were completely outplayed in that second term. It looked like they'd thrown everything at them. And this man was awesome. Sean Darcy, he can run us through it thanks to Fox Footy.
A lot of people back in WA wanting to know how you feel off the back of that unbelievable second half.
Yeah, we're really disappointed with the first half. I think 15 minutes of footy let us down. Apart from that, we were in the game. So at half-time, we just needed to fix our connection problem. We're getting a lot of the ball. We just turn it over in the forward 50. So once we did that, the boys just played their role. The forward pressure was unbelievable. Allowed us to set up behind the ball.
How did you feel at half-time? Because no one would have seen that third quarter. 8 goals in that third quarter in particular. Being able to keep the D's just 1 goal in the second half. What changed so quickly with a 15-20-minute break at half-time?
We thought we were doing a lot right at half-time. We just weren't connecting as well. So the message was just use the ball a bit better and then put it to the forwards' advantage and let the forwards go after work. So that allows our backs to play forward of their man and then us play front half footy, which we were all about.
The other thing that changed drastically was the ruck work and the centre square dominance in particular in that third quarter. Your matchup with Max Gorman was significant. How did you see it?
Yeah, I thought I started well. Second quarter was a little bit iffy, and then after half-time I was a lot better. He's a hell of a player. He works extremely hard. So, it's an honour to go against him everywhere.
Tell us about the confidence going back and then banging that one home as well yourself. The big thumping kick was brilliant.
Yeah, I like to get forward a bit, and if I can slot one, it's always good to slot one. So, it was good.
Tell us what this means for the group. I mean, this is a team in the D's that have been untouchable for the first half of this year, and we know what they did last year. You've just rolled them and kept them relatively quiet. What does that mean for your group?
Yeah, we were just really disappointed in the last 2 weeks of how we were playing. We weren't doing the team thing, and we wanted to just get back to supporting each other, hunting around the ball. So it gives a world of confidence, and we're just excited to get going.
Fantastic performance. Congratulate and enjoy with your teammates. Well done.
Appreciate it.
Well done, you.
Jake Melsham being chaired off in game number 200, but it won't be a winning one for him. Fremantle winners by 38 points. As Melbourne make their way off, the Dockers will head out to their small section of fans here at the MCG. 14-10-94 to 7-14-56. It's all thanks to Macca's. Score yourself an absolute Macca's legend, the McChicken. Order via McDelivery today. McDelivery is available in select locations. What a win.
Incredible stuff, and it's great to hear the insight there at halftime. They weren't panicked, even though they'd been clearly outplayed in that second term. Fantastic to see.
Let's go back down, courtesy of Fox Footy. Nick Del Santo talking to Andrew Brayshaw.
Statement at centre square bounce. Like you said, started with Sean, getting really good hand to it, and then the mids followed up, gave our forwards a couple of looks, and we just capitalised. I'm really proud of the boys.
I'm going to ask about a couple of plays in particular. Aish went to Oliver in the second half, did a brilliant job. I posed the question, why didn't you start like that? He had 24, but the significant role that he did in the balance.
Yeah, he was huge. Had that role in the second half. Had a few critical contests where he just bodylined the ball, and it was inspiring for the other mids. He was so good, and so many others were as well.
What do you take out of that game off the back of the previous 2 weeks as well as an inside midfielder?
Yeah, I mean, disappointing last 2 weeks. Copped a fair bit. Our midfield's been beaten the last few weeks as well, so to come up against the reigning premiers and really show them, a good run at it in the second half. Really proud. Like you mentioned before, started with Sean and then it tapered down through the rest of us, so very happy.
We always love when siblings can either play together or play against each other. A little bit of a fight for the parents, loving you've come up on top. How do your parents get through these weeks as well?
I'm pretty sure Mum has a scarf that's one half Melbourne and one half Freo, so she wore that today. This is the first time I've beaten Angus, so he's driving me home tonight actually, so I'll be rubbing it in for sure.
Very nice. We heard from the coach off the back of the last couple of weeks about getting ahead of yourself. How do you not get ahead of yourself off the back of what you've just done?
Well, yeah, it's a massive scalp. They've been undefeated for a very long time, so to get that win is huge, but we've got another 2 really solid opponents before our bye. We've set ourselves up really nicely, but, a week is a long time in footy, so who knows?
You're far too level-headed to get ahead of yourself. You're a star. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.
Well done.
Andrew Brayshaw, courtesy of Fox Footy. Let's get to the Triple MVP Awards for homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Who's got the votes today?
That would be myself. So the votes
Go on,
today,
myself.
very, very difficult actually to give out the votes for this performance from the Freo Dockers. Having a look at the stats, such an even contribution from all players across the field, and tearing my hair out trying to figure out who to give the 3-2-1-2 this evening. So I've gone with one vote. I thought Michael Frederick in that third quarter was instrumental for the Dockers. Some of the one-on-ones or even two-on-ones that he was able to win into their favour. 17 disposals, 11 score involvements, 2 goals, 1 to go with it. 2 votes, Sean Darcy. He actually beat Max Gawn, 31 hit-outs in his advantage, 16 disposals, 13 contested possessions and 1 goal to go with it. And I think the most influential player on the ground was actually Rory Lobb. 15 disposals, 3 tackles, 1 which led directly to a turnover and goal, 9 marks, 8 score involvements and the 3 goals, 1. Unlucky not to get in the votes was Lockie Schultz, who kicked 4 goals. Will Brodie as well, who had a lot of the footy, and also Lockie Aish, who did that job on Clayton Oliver. But they're the 3 that I went with.
Nicely done. Triple MVP Awards for homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. What does this all mean, Daze?
Well, it means that Fremantle may actually be the real deal. I think we had some serious question marks. The first 5 games, they sort of shot the lights out, and we were like, where has this come from? All bar a loss to St Kilda. But now I think they've really cemented themselves. With a scalp like this, it's hard not to sit up and take notice of what they've been able to do. And the way they were able to do it, like we've spoken about at half-time, Melbourne were dominant. Yes, Freo had their chances in the first, but it felt like they'd fired all their shots. Their ability to keep their best players from Melbourne to low possession numbers. We know that Oliver was off the chain early, but then to send Aish to him. Petrarca had 10 disposals, which I think for Red ZE is a career low.
Yeah, certainly is. Career low for him. Previous was 11.
So it's just a really well thought out victory. I think a lot back to the Western Bulldogs, and they seem to always come up against Melbourne and get beaten by what they know. I know now Melbourne can obviously learn a bit from Freo, but well done to them and full honours.
Well done to you, Daze. Well done to you, Kate. To Heath, go and have a beer and just console yourself after today. I think you deserved it.
Might be more than one.
Probably forgotten what a loss even feels like. Timmy, well done to you. Robbo, well done to you as well. Big thanks to everyone for joining us across the afternoon as we leave you for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Fremantle winners today by 38 points. And the Demons lose their first game of 2022. West Coast and the Bulldogs up next.
Big fly, Spargo!
Spoken by T. Solly.
That call.